And hello, YouTube. Welcome, 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 as I'm getting ready to drink my coffee. This will be an interesting test today, because T90 is going to be streaming. In the past few days, I've been getting like a ton of viewers for these things, but also T90 hasn't been streaming. So we'll see how that affects the numbers, and how that affects if I'm streaming on YouTube too. You're green now. Yes, you are. Oh, yes, I can see you're green. I also see your turbo icon disappeared, but maybe that's just a weird thing Twitch needs to load. Oh, you turned the turbo icon off. Nice. Now I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to think that I won't be able to talk to you during the ads. Yeah, that's an option. You can turn the icons off a bit. It makes your names less cluttered in the chat sometimes. I know my name has all the clutter. I have like the partner icon, the mod icon, sub icon, Twitch noob. That's okay. Hello, Anthony Cohn on YouTube. Hello, hello. Yeah, I also have some emotes on YouTube. I need to remember to add the rest of them. Good morning, Eunice. Alright, so I guess we're just waiting for Hera, because Hera's probably going to stream his point of view. Hera's playing, he's usually streaming. I haven't seen whether these will be Rex or not. Probably see that in 1 minute. Ah, yay, coffee. Hello, Izyan Jamal. Rise and shine, chat. Hello, Vanilla Donut. Vanilla Donut, unfortunately, you are not first. But you're early still. You're early. YouTube isn't even giving me a concurrent viewer count yet. Oh, now it is. We're starting with 13 after 1 minute. What happened to that? I've not heard about that. I did see they were going to allow people to stream with 0 delay. So, I mean, streaming with 0 delay is something I'd like to do for my tournaments going forward. We had a 2-minute delay for cartographers because that was what the World's Edge requirement was. But maybe I can talk to Nilly and get that changed. And hello, HQ. Remember to like and subscribe. Remember to rate the video. Were you all around when YouTube had 5-star ratings for videos? That was life. The original handbook didn't say 2-minute delay. Yeah, it's in all the World's Edge handbooks. And I'm not a fan of it. I did have someone mention they had heard rumors of spec cheating during cartographers, which was news to me. I hadn't heard of it. Stream 30 seconds into the future would be nice. Then everyone would go out of sync. My favorite thing about this, I posted a feedback forum for players, for cartographers. Hopefully I get more responses. But I asked the question, were there adequate channels for providing feedback about the tournament? And one of the responses was there should be a feedback channel for players and admins only during the tournament. Which was a very curious response because the channel in which I posted the survey was in the private channel only for players and for admins to provide feedback, named Player Feedback. that is a response. Hello, Radu. Hello, Clericy. Oh, that is an AoE 2 themed name. I like it. And hello, AoE channels. Doesn't show up on your Live Now category. Had to find you on Game Channel. Watching on iOS, iPad. I am not familiar with Apple devices, so unfortunately I can offer no advice for the situation. It's working now. All right. So sometimes Twitch takes a moment to get started when you go live. Okay. Any more details? Nope. No more details yet. Oh, okay. DJ Diego 104 is typing. Ready to see a masterfully written message telling me about how all the drafts are ready and the games are getting started on time. Hello, Anthony. H West, how's the crew ya? What is that slang? Am I supposed to know what that means? Hera is delayed. Draft starts in 15 minutes, approximately. All right, Hera is delayed. So Hera 8-tier games are a bit more exciting. He doesn't put as much effort, so the field feels a bit more level. T90 asking when are Rex posted. T90 thinking that the games are gonna get started on time. Oh. You know what? We're waiting for this to get started. Why don't we do something fun? Let's cast an arena game. Wu versus Mayan. Syscon versus Chaos. Just to fill the time. Get us warmed up for casting. Remind me, I'm going to swap the overlay. Remind me I need to activate the Medieval Masters overlay or icon when I start the game. All right, chat, you have a job to do. You have a job to make sure I don't forget to reactivate the logo. All right, so here we are. Arena. While we're waiting for Hera. I'll disable the scoreboard too. This isn't Hera versus Lucho. This is Chaos to win as the Maya against Syscon as the Wu. What happens here? I don't know. How do the Wu do with plumed archers? What do the Wu do other than their giant swordsmen? That's literally the only thing I've ever seen them do, and they win all the time with it. Maybe we'll see something new. It's chicken arena, so go take your chickens however you want. No funnel. No one doing the phosphorus strat of funneling the chickens to the TC like Sato did. Ooh, I don't like these farms. They're one tile off. An old drunk warlord. Thank you for the bits. Arena. Well, E's in this arena, no I's, because the stone walls have 1080 HP, but still a good map regardless, I'd say. And there we are. We'll have a stable on the way for Syscon. I think we caught up to real time. So, if you're just tuning in, the drafts for Hera and Lucho are going to be a bit late. Hera was delayed. I studied math. Yes. Studied math and computer science. Barracks will be up for Chaos. Ooh, Market Blacksmith and then the barracks. I guess that's normal for the American civs. I was a CS major and went and did other stuff. Well, I was a math major, then went and did programming stuff. master's in analytic number theory. That is fun. This gate leads nowhere. Thanks, D. And Grumpy number 9, thank you for the follow. So Double Bit Axe, Horse Collar, and Castle Age all on the way for Chaos. It's gonna look maybe to cause some chaos with this build, going for the Eagles. Now, Giant Swordsman should absolutely shred Eagles, right? Right? They should. I have a project coming up that I want to do, where I'm... map scripting essentially is a constraint satisfaction problem. I want to experiment with different algorithms for solving CSP problems in the context of map scripts and see different ways of positioning resources that don't cause bugged maps. I want to get a better feel for the search space that we're dealing with. Because the game doesn't attempt to solve the CSP problem, it just places objects sequentially, and every time you place an object, you create more constraints that other objects have to avoid it. And you can, even if you have a map where you are very likely to place all the objects just by random placement, even just one object, or you know, just you can get one sequence of bad placements that ends up running yourself out of room, even though there would have existed a solution to it. And so I'm curious how much when I do map scripts, I essentially in many of my maps I use lots and lots of invisible objects for a very hacky system, but I attempt multiple times to place resources until it succeeds. And I'm wondering how much actual proper CSP solving algorithms would work towards ensuring that resources always spawn in random locations. Because the DE maps often get around this by placing them in non-random locations and very fixed locations. You see kind of... probably Arena does this now, but you can see basically draw a straight line through the TC. There's a blocker on those lines that block the resources, and they're just off to the side of them. Same with the stone. So, I think there are better ways of placing them. Old Arabia with Dead Center Relic. GG's Panda! Hello, Panda. When is Hera game? I was told Hera was delayed. I was told that Hera was delayed. Yeah, both are shock infantry. But, question is, what do shock infantry do? And hello, Filter Coffee. We'll be casting today as well. We'll try to cast as much Medieval Masters as we can. I'll try to cast it every day. I want to go back and cast a recorded game, though, of when Hera walled in ACCM. I didn't get to cast that live. And that just looked like a fun wreck. They shock you? Ah, Panda, you see, Eagles. They always had this armor class called Shock Infantry. Well, it wasn't always called Shock Infantry, it was called Eagle Warrior. But they updated it. So more units now have that armor class of Shock Infantry. And the Wu have a unit that is trained at the barracks and is unique to them called the Jian Swordsman, which also is shock infantry. They do shock you, yes. They're running on the streets towards home. Let's hope he makes it home. You need him to play Age of Empires. You like the Jian Swordsman. Oh, Chaos, he was thinking, oh, the monk's gonna open the gate, I'll run in. And this guy was like, nope, I'm just gonna get this relic as close to the gate as I can, and then you can kill the monk. That was nice. I have 2 TCs up for Chaos. As the light cav keep hovering around. Haven't played AoE 2 since the 8th. I probably haven't even played it. I think I played 1 team game this month. No, I played a couple. I played with Ornu at like 1 AM the other night. I was having trouble sleeping. I played a couple team games, but I haven't really played much AoE 2. I've had so much to do with cartographers. And I still have more to do because we have the community event, and I have to pay everyone. Microsoft gave me the money, so now I need to pay everyone their invoices. Or I need to get everyone to submit an invoice to me, that's the hard part. And then figure out how to pay them, which will likely involve a mess of PayPal Transactions, wise transactions, and wire transfers. Because, I mean, what are all the countries we have people in who played in cartographers? We have, what? Canada, Argentina, Vietnam, Ukraine, Mexico, Brazil, Serbia, Norway, Germany, China, and lots of other countries I haven't even gotten to. France, Spain, the UK. 1 a.m. AOE2, yes. That's why you have friends in different time zones. You always have someone around to play AOE2. Just to join the stream. Which one is Hera? None of these are Hera. We are waiting. Hera is late. Oh, Daniela, thank you for the raid. You have arrived before Hera has. So we're just casting some ranked games until Hera gets back, and then they start their set. Red 10 vills behind just to get one extra relic. Ooh, foot race for the relic. Who gets there first? Blue gets there first. Ooh, they block each other. Nope, he gets it. The monk was shift queued, so he turned around immediately. Try to take the light cab down. Eagles will pick the light cab. Eagles will get these monks. And hello, Yajur. So thank you, Danny. Hope you had a good stream. I heard that Daniela is going to start streaming on YouTube, too. She needs to set it up, though. And Jinxed Charm, thank you for the follow. I helped Ornlu set it up. And Ornlu's probably, it looks like he's doing it from now on, too. That's way too many countries to handle payments to. I didn't even list all of them. And then the monk's trying to run to the eagles to protect the relic. Have a good stream, yeah, worth a shot. Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see genuinely how you do with the YouTube streams. I'm curious, cause like Ornlu and I both like have like YouTube channels where we've done stuff like campaign videos for years. Now, I had no idea how the stream would do, but it seems to be doing pretty well. But it's very different than, I think, my normal YouTube content. And some people might just like prefer watching on YouTube rather than Twitch. Which is nice because you can rewind the video, you can pause it, then you can fast forward and catch up. I don't actually watch many streams on YouTube myself, though. Maybe that's just because no one really did Age of Empires streams for a while. Viper's saying it takes away from his viewers on Twitch. I think maybe that's true for Viper, but for me, I think it works out pretty well because I think it'll be less affected by. Because usually, like my viewership on Twitch depends entirely on whether or not T90 and Dave also are streaming, and I feel like YouTube will be less affected by their being live on Twitch. Yeah, the fact that there's automatically a VOD is wonderful for me. For me, I don't see a downside to it. I've gotten a lot of YouTube subs, so it gives me like YouTube content when I don't need to go and heavily edit videos. So we have the Huiguang Cavalry. Interesting. I don't know enough about this unit to know what it's good at. It has a good melee attack. It's 11 attack. That's one more than a knight. It has really good melee armor, 4+1 melee armor. But the HP is really low. So is this kind of like a heavily armored but low HP unit then? That's what it's looking like when I just take a cursory look at the stats. Heavily armored but low HP. Now that monk goes down, again dropping the relic outside the gate, not letting the Huiguang Cavalry in. More monks go down. So Chaos will get that relic, but down by about 20 vills and going for the fight. Saying Lucho needs to 3-0. Honestly, I have enough trouble figuring out these round-robin tiebreakers. You know what? I'll need to do that next time I do a tournament. If I do a group stage, I'll need to add in the possibilities, right? Of the once you get a round of games in, like who needs what to win and what happens with different results. If Chaos to wins, LeBron James passes Michael Jordan. Hello, Jominal. Well, if that happens, I think Jordan 23 passes Viper. Yeah, 60 HP versus Knight's 100 HP. Yeah, you only watch on YouTube. What is Twitch? Twitch is another live streaming service. So, Imp on the way. For both players, faster Imp for Chaos, And what do the Maya do? Didn't we see Maya versus Wu on Fortress the other day? Was that the game that Capture Age crashed and the stream dropped? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Jordan won the best of 21. Can't rewrite history. Dad's still the GOAT though. And just tab around and see if we have news on Hera. Alright, so Hera Lucho will be our live set today. And the other two sets will be through Rex, ACCM versus Andy, and Hart versus Kapach. So pikemen here, they will help block the forward castle with a couple monks going for conversions. And Siscon, this might be a doubt castle, speaking of doubt. Oh no, all the cav go down. He's going to turn and try to build the castle again. I don't think he'll get it. The eagle will snipe off the monk. There's a monk there, he can regain his monk juice and convert any villas that try to small wall themselves. Another Huiguang cavalry is here. This is really close to being a disaster, but maybe disaster averted as more Huiguang cavalry come in. Okay, and he will get the castle up, doesn't even lose that many villas, just took a really bad fight with his army. How do the eagles do versus these things? I don't know. Eagles are low HP, less attack, less armor. The eagle's definitely the worst unit. They're cheaper. Oof, alright, that was a scary castle, but it does go up a bit farther back. Isn't Chris the GOAT? He literally wrote the book on AoE. I mean, he wrote a book on AoE. I wouldn't call it the book. I want a second monastery to which to evacuate his relics? Maybe. If he loses this castle and monastery, then he probably loses the game. He needs to win a Trub War. Is Capture Age back in still explain his vulnerabilities? I have no idea. But I mean, you probably don't even need Capture Age for that. Hera when he gets home. Your comment was sarcastic to mean that you watched the live stream was on YouTube but not on Twitch. Yeah, I'm sure there are people like that. I'm sure there are people who have both open and chat on Twitch and watch on YouTube. One day when I get stable internet, if I ever move somewhere with fiber, I'll multi-stream everywhere. We'll do YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Facebook, TikTok, OnlyFans, Twitter. Is that a thing? Probably not Twitter. You have to pay for Twitter Blue for that, I think. Instagram, we can stream there. All the places. No way Blue loses now. You got faith in someone who doesn't have the score lead, and who is going for the long swordsman against the Maya who can make plumed archers. Okay, why people don't use Restream and stream to both? I'm not using Restream. I'm just streaming to both directly. I'm just using the OBS plugin. Okay, this doesn't lose his stone repairing castles when we'll need plumes. He can convert the... Oh no, he can't. He doesn't have redemption. You need redemption for those. I was going to say, these things can be converted at range. They're kind of like a bombard cannon. Which would be my first OnlyFans sub. I can post my Vil cosplay there. Yeah, go check out my villager cosplay on Instagram. I have no idea what to do with my Instagram. I figured it's useful to have, but I don't even know what content to post there. I'll have to do like unique unit cosplays maybe. So El Dorado on the way. El Dorado Eagles against two-handed swordsman. The Wu have champion, right? They have champion. Yeah. So Eagle into champion. That's awkward. I feel like plumed archers are going to be necessary. Eagles will melt to this, as the two-handed swordsmen do have +8 against shock infantry, so they hard counter the Eagles. Now the Trubs are forward, and now Chaos I think is just dead. Oh, are these things accurate? Oh yeah, they are accurate. Oh, like counter the Trubs. Now the swordsman will kill the Trub. Now Chaos is unfortunately dead. You need a lot of plumes to fight this. If he had plumes, he might be okay. Traction Trubs only have 8 pierce armor. Oh, interesting. So you can actually destroy them with archers, like longbows would shred these things. Not versus the traction Trubs plumes, but against the two-handed swordsman. Plumes would wreck here. He's not against the Huigron cavalry, maybe with all their pierce armor, but against the 200 swordsmen, oh, they would die. So conscription on the way, plumes on the way. Elite plume will be researched back here. Remember, we need elite plume for the plumed archers to look decent. Their new graphics, I don't know what they were thinking. Traction trebs are absolutely wrecking normal trebuchets. Oh, trebuchet got a one-shot there. That treb needs repairs. What qualifies as shock infantry? Eagle warriors do? Jian swordsmen do, and I'm not sure what else. Are there other shock infantries right now? The Gulam probably should for the Hindustanis, but I don't think it does right now. Fire lancers are shock. Oh, okay. And now enough plumes out. Plumes will shred the two-handed swordsman. Remember, plumes do get +2 against infantry, and an additional +2 against spears. But they will be worse against those cav that already have 5 pierce armor. But Hal Plume feels like a decent combo now. That castle goes down. Now, it's only going to be 1 castle plume production now, so those plume numbers will probably be overwhelmed. Draft started. Thank you, Chess. I feel like the Maya needs something against anti-archer infantry. Just can't handle units like Gulams and now Jian swordsmen, even their economy doesn't help them enough. Maybe plumes just need +1 more attack against infantry, which is weird saying that we need to buff plumed archers these days. Back, because I remember when AUC was just sling the Mayans. They were the Mayans back then, not even the Maya. But maybe make the plume better in that situation. Hello, Rodney. So this gate will, that's a lot of traction trebs. This gate will go down, and then the Huigron cavalry will come in, and not enough halbs to deal with them right now. They're 12 + 6 attack. That's a nice attack. Castle goes up, and the relics at the front have gone down. As someone said, needed a monastery at the back. So Chaos not giving up yet. Gonna try to do a castle in the rear. Maybe try to get more plumed archers. There's 17 of them now. Yeah, trebs should be able to hit the next castle, though. Can they? Yes, they can. Gotta remember, traction trebs only 14 range, but they still can hit the castle. And that will be a castle there for Siskan. And with all those traction trebs, I feel like this should go down. 9 of them. This could be a doubt castle with the plumes. Plumes looking to deny this, but Huigron cavalry are running and hitting the repair vills, and if there are no repair vills, there'll be no more castle. So down that shall go. And this castle, 80%, but all the vills are gonna die. And oop, there's 1 vill camouflaged behind the walls, but cannot escape the wrath of the plumes. And the TC will go down. Treb's going for the plumes. Oh, the traction treb is hitting the plumes. Wait, what? How did that castle? Wait, what happened with the castle? Wait, did the traction trebs hit the castle? Wait, what? What just happened there? Did Siskan destroy his own castle? Well, what? Did he delete it? Did he delete that? I can't tell in Capture Age. What's the normal trebs always hit? You always hit buildings 100% of the time. Traction trebs look like they have 30 accuracy, so that's the same as the treb versus units. When is Hera versus Lucho? Hera was late, so they're starting the draft right now, and we're gonna get to that next. I'm just casting a range game. And there's the WP. Not even a GG, just a WP. 213 kills. Better eco at the end. And GG. Enable the scoreboard. This is Group A. The first 2 sets are Group A. And I will find the drafts for us. draft. And civ draft. Double check which side Hera's on. Where are we? There we are. And they are in the game. Game 1 will be Socotra. So we're getting right into this. Thank you all for tuning in. We have a 2-minute spec delay. Yeah, 80 Stone back. Brought to you by Rewinding on the YouTube live stream. Oh, yes. Yes, we can rewind on YouTube. Oh my gosh, I don't even need capture age rewinding. I should just pull up my YouTube VOD, rewind there, and watch. Next time I need to see something happen. Alright, so I'm just going to play a quick ad on Twitch to get the pre-rolls off, and then we'll get going. Or ask YouTube chat to do it for me. So what's our prediction, chat? 3-0 Lucho? Is that what we're predicting? That's a bold prediction. Just go back in my brain archives and relive the memory like a normal person. Also, thank you for the follows. Jinx Charm, Esper 2020, and Safrael. Thank you all very much for the follows. Also, if you're not already, go follow Daniela too. She's almost at 10k followers. And here we're in the 13ks, grinding towards 15k. Hera is washed and he can't win an A tier without doubt. Is Hera going through the entire Viper life cycle then? First you have a dynasty, then you're washed, then you're just holding on. Alright, let's go DE. You can load into the game, I believe. We can load, and here we are. And I need to put the logo back. Logo, Medieval Masters logo. Boom. Logo is there. Alright, so it is Socotra for game 1. It'll be Inca versus Aztecs. Inca win this hard if they get to slingers. The only thing Aztecs really can do then is like monk. They go crossbow. I mean, either one is killed by eagles. I feel like they just die to eagle slinger. And go maybe like longsword crossbow monk. So Hera is like 2 Steph Currys. Or like Dallas Klay Thompson. So, we have some laming. Lucho, he grabbed Hera's elephant. Hera didn't go to stop the lame. And Lucho now has 2 elephants under that TC. So Hera, it's A-tier tournament Hera. He already lost the set to ACCM. He's actually in danger if he loses to Lucho here, and grabbing 2 elephants is a nice start. Want Lucho to win 1 game? I think people might want him to win 2 games. Because then Hera might even be out. Alright, I need more coffee for this. Not the ostrich being pushed in by that eagle. Both need 2 games to pass through. Okay. So if we get to 1-1, game 3 matters a lot. Matters a lot for Hera's dynasty. So Lucho, ooh, that'll be a nice lumber camp nook. Look at that. Look at that. That's kind of a jutting out bit of the wood line, but I like that. That's a nice, efficient lumber camp for a while. why I'm an AI avatar created by the original Mr. West. So, Lucho off to a great start. The only bad thing about all the hunt is you need to remember to force drop as the Aztecs, but these days you do have the force drop hockey. Lucho also, you can see how the idle time is, or the loom is affected. Hera, he's down by a Vil. We do have no loom for Lucho, didn't need it. Lane didn't even need the loom. Stoic expressions through and through. I feel like a podcast is usually more stoic than a cast, though. You're putting a pod at the front. All right, so double berries. Was he got a masterpiece? The villagers inside the berries. He is. Hera's not gonna be able to do anything there. Oh wait, Hera has a forward Vil. What's that Vil doing? Where's that Vil going? Oh, where are these Vils going? 2 forward Vils. Hera looking to make the game messy, maybe. Oh, he's gonna build a house right where he wanted the mill. Oh, the BM. He had to research loom. No loom yet. Oh, Aztecs no longer have their insta loom of yore. Back when they started the game with loom. Now they just get plus 50 gold. Which actually is a buff on some maps, but here they're gonna be needing loom. Didn't the Goths have free loom at some point too? So everyone up to feudal. Hera's really invested in the S tier streak and all the competition at that top level. Hera is pretty chill and casual with A tier. That's what everyone always said about Viper when he lost. So, I'll see. Nice res collected advantage for Lucho. Sometimes I feel like the elephant on Socotra is game deciding. Sometimes I feel like it hardly matters. So Hera, I mean, look how close these berries are. I mean, even for Socotra, these players are right next to each other. Now, that's true, loom does take a second, so if you wait until you're housed, you're maximizing your loom efficiency. Even though your overall efficiency is still you're housed. Here, call for a reminder for people. Coffee can be good. So 4-1 HP now. I think the next hit wins among those 2 eagles. Jaguar potential? Not with slingers, though. So Lucho gonna add the tower, as I still think Hera has an insane civ advantage for this matchup. Okay, that eagle. Do a quick gate, trap the eagle? No. Lucho could have done, replace the palisade with a gate, like right there, to trap the eagle. And, oh, look at that. Hera wins the 50-50. So both players with a tower, both doing an archery range. Hera might need to move his range. Hera has a couple more Vils. He's forward already. More Vils coming forward for Lucho. He's going to go attack that tower now. Vils on the inside. Hera with more Vils overall, though. He's going to go straight for the repair Vil. Vil's going to run back. Eagle on the way. Jaguar Skirm, maybe that's a combo. Like in Imp, like Jaguar Siege Onager should be good. Am I full time now? I'm not Sacred Run, I'm not. We're not nearly large enough for that, not even close. I don't think Siege Onager is a combo on Socotra though. So some skirms now for Lucho. Going skirms, he lost his tower. Hera's tower is fairly weak, but weak does not equal dead. Infantry unique units, we get resistance to anti-infantry attacks. You mean like so cataphracts would do less damage to Jaguar warriors than they do to eagles? Maybe. Workplace, work from home, 100%, yes. That could be interesting. Might make a few unique units more viable. But I feel like you're just mostly going ARBs against infantry unique units anyway. It's the Pierce armor that in almost all cases would matter more. I guess hand cannoneers sometimes come out, but usually it's ARBs. Skirm's gonna look to hit the other skirms. Lucho taking out that house. Remember, skirm discount for the Inca. Faster working military production buildings for the Aztecs. But right now it's tied in the eco unit count, or tied in the population. 1 vil lead for Hera. And Eagles here trying to engage. That tower still is there. Lucho even with the hill trying to use the skirms properly. And more than full-time skirms. I took a lot of time last month for cartographers, though.
But nay. Ok. But nay. Ok.
And we still have the community event going on, so I plan to cast a lot of the playoffs once those roll around in the next week or two. So, maintaining the tower, getting the skirm numbers out. In this matchup, skirms will be very useful because skirms keep the slinger matchups down if you're the Aztecs. So if you get to a big skirm situation, then maybe your eagle is still useful against the skirms. But it's just like, it just feels as soon as the slingers come out, Incas just dominate, or the Inca dominate the Aztecs. Maybe you have some room for skirm and monk play. But both those units counted by eagles. And you don't have a good answer to the slingers. I don't know if anyone plays more than him. Lewis has been grinding. I think pretty soon we'll have some good Lewis tournament victories. And JT just always plays. And maybe soon it'll result in tournament success. He's improving that, right? Survivalist plays a lot too. He just plays at a weird hour. Yeah, I don't know how Survivalist does it. He spends like 8 hours a day playing 1v1s at the worst time zone for playing 1v1s. He has all the Huang games. He has the slam problem, but perhaps even slightly worse. Crossbow Eagle from Maya. Oh, there's no Maya in this game. It's Inca Aztecs. And then same thing. That kind of dies to Skirm Slinger. Maya, I think, can be good against Incas if they get into Plume plus Siege. But that's really tough to get into. And now Skirm counts 15 to 13. Still pretty equal. Depends on the micro. But big difference here that Hera was able to take all the berries. Lucho wasn't. And you can just see Hera slightly pulling ahead in res collected despite that early lame. So he's basically evened up, even slightly reversed the lame situation. Yeah, Jaguar Warriors defending onagers could also be a thing, but again, super expensive. And Hera, the first one to click up. Lucho getting close, but not quite there. And it's just skirms going back and forth. So Hera, after the initial lame, still was able to take all of his hunt. He pushed the hunt into the TC. By Vil fighting at the mill, he was able to take some initiative, still got up to feudal at a good time, won the tower war. And since then has been denying the berries and just adding in as many skirms as he can. And now we're going to have Lucho clicking up soon. Soon is not now, and he needed to be up yesterday. Yeah, there were a couple other Japanese players. The Survivalist, definitely the streamer who's well known, currently living there. Yeah, all the Canadians not living in Canada. You have Hera in Argentina, Survivalist in Japan. At least Dave's still in Canada. And Slam, they can carry the torch or the leaf. Yep, over a minute behind, and down Wheelbarrow. That's a good point. Wheelbarrow will make a difference in those vills. Could they become significantly more popular? I mean, American civs are always going to be very map dependent. The Inca, I think, are going to be very popular these days. The Mayas still are very popular. Aztecs really have fallen off, though. We're all a far cry from the days of AOC Aztecs all the time. And there's Elite Skirm Bodkin. And now 45 seconds still from Castle. What does Lucho do against this? He can't fight it. He can only stone wall and hope to stave off the inevitable as Hera's push continues. And as you're upgrading fletching, remember, you're also upgrading your slingers. So if Hera ever gets an inkling that Lucho is going Eagles, it'll be slingers from... Here's Eagle Warrior for Hera. And he's not even gonna care about that Aztec TC fire. He's gonna say, pass this down, Cuauhtemoc. I'm gonna raid your vills with my skirms. Doesn't have ballistics, but still killing vills. And that's feudal skirms trying to trap the army. More vills going down. Lucho in a spot of trouble, to say the least. And it's GG time as Hera is victorious. I'm just alt-tabbed. You typed GG in the game, probably. Yeah, he typed it. Or no, actually only Hera typed it. Oh yeah, he did type. Okay, they both typed GG. Capture just didn't pick it up. We're good. We're good. No drama. Both type GG. So that's the 13-6 KD in favor of Hera, and he will be victorious on Socotra. Yeah, diving is the right play. Hello, Underill. Yeah, diving, when you have skirms and eagles, you don't care about the TC fire. You break through the walls, you dive. The only thing Lucho could have tried to do is wall back here, but the farm's kind of getting in the way of that. Makes it harder. He tried to wall, but Hera didn't let him. Now, as fast as Socotra can be fast. It is Socotra. Yeah, the bad side of the skirm mirror. Yeah, and looks like they will be doing Land Madness as the next map. The Magyar Slavs. So let's get this overlay updated. That's a 1-0 lead for Hera. It is a play all three, and this will matter for the group standings. Oh, Hera's home map is Pacific Islands. Pacific Islands, Hera. What are you picking? What is that map? Very first pick, Incas will win over the Aztecs. Pacific Islands will probably just be Vikings, Armenians. The whole Skirm Wars of the 2000s. Skirm Wars are eternal. Skirm Wars of the 20-teens, the 2020s, the 20-aughts, the 90s. Every war is a Skirm War. And hello, Bruno Batista on YouTube. How you doing? Alright, yeah, I figured, like, since T90's streaming, we're probably gonna get not quite the same viewership we were getting during the week, but look at this, we're at almost 300 viewers between Twitch and YouTube, and I think my hypothesis that YouTube's less affected by other people being on Twitch might be correct. And it'll be nice if that is correct, because I'm still gonna have edited content, but of course, we can stream here too, there's just more overall YouTube content. Alright, so welcome to Land Madness. Lucho will be playing as the Red Slavs to the west and Hera as the Blue Magyars to the east. You're doing great. I'm doing great too. I got my coffee with me. I got my water with me. Stay awake and stay hydrated. And we have some wonderful Age of Empires for today. Try looking at a handbook. Oh boy. You get paid if you watch your stream on YouTube using Premium? I have no idea. I generally turn a lot of the ads and stuff off, so maybe not. I actually don't know. Maybe I still do if you watch with Premium. You can watch on Twitch with Turbo and on YouTube with Premium. But it will be Land Madness Magyars. Everyone knows about the Magyars on this map. Cheaper scouts, free blacksmith attack upgrades. Recurve bow cav archers for the late game. Slavs. Good farming eco. Magyar Slavs is a matchup where I feel like the Magyars have a slight eco advantage if they go heavy into scouts. I wonder if Lucho might dare for a different opening? Maybe something like Men-at-Arms, just to try to shake it up? Free forging, though, even makes spears useful against Men-at-Arms, so hard to do against Magyars, I think. Won't be your typical gaming viewers that you get on Twitch. It's like oxygen water. Yeah, I mean, if I were like turning the ads on and turning monetization on for the YouTube streams, then I would definitely get the revenue from Premium. But since I turned that stuff off, I don't know if I still do. I like having the option with ads completely off, because the Twitch ads are so annoying during Age of Empires games. I figured for YouTube, we're not going to mess around with that. And yeah, I'm probably losing out on some income from that, but I'd prefer just to have the better experience for viewers without the ads. Is ad blocker? Exactly. I can never open my phone to look at YouTube because of the lack of ad blocker there. So, after the deer push, the Borlor, this is a map where you spend your Dark Age pushing deer. It'll be time for Hera to try to find his opponent. You have one berry patch, and the map has neutral berries. Sometimes they're right next to you. Also, other deer patches too. Sometimes you can push in 2 patches of deer. For you, do ads every minute on YouTube to milk all the premium revenue. And Lucho going to take that berry patch. Again, you can't wall on the rock terrain. You can go all the way to the edge on this version. No real good way for Lucho to do that, though, unless he were to loop around the wood line to the TC. But then the 2 golds here kind of need a sharp angle to keep him safe. Hera's more in the corner. In these corner positions, sometimes you would see players go for a wall. Like, from down here, you go in front of both those golds, over here to the TC, and then over to the side. That will keep a stone, 1, 2, 3, 4 golds, deer, 3 woodline safe, 2 berries. That actually, if Hera somehow could pull off that wall, that would be insane for him. Or open the map like Land Madness more favors Magyars. I've even seen arena games where the Magyar player, as long as you get the relics, can then drag it out and go Cav Archer, Herbal Medicine, Magyar Hussars. The Slavs have great siege, but the Magyars also have a unique unit that specializes in sniping off siege. So this is one of those matchups, especially without bombard cannons for the Slavs who have to rely on rams, where you can have super long games because the Magyars have horrible siege themselves and they can't finish off the Slavs, but then the Slavs can't bring their siege to bear against the Magyar Hussars. And even their Drazina Halbs get picked off from the recurve bow Cav Archers. The Cav Archers just herbal medicine, heal, and castles over time. Maybe 2 advertisement. Well, I guess that's why Microsoft paid me $17,000 to run cartographers. It is an advertisement for them. So both players up to feudal will have Hera up just a bit faster. Did he do loom? He did not. So 19 pop no loom versus 19 pop with loom. And as the Magyars, he'll be looking to make scouts right away. Those cheaper scouts, not on gold. He's not on gold yet. Over here, there's the barracks for Lucho, and he will probably be getting a stable up too. Slavs will have the faster working farmers, so more res collected. But fewer res spent for Hera. Give Drazina to all Slav units like the Boyars. Or like their crossbows. Or like their siege onagers, give them even more blast radius. Give them their own torsion engines like attack. Why are they picking two civs from the same architecture set? Ooh. Presumably we'll have Armenians Vikings for the final game, so that should break it. But you're right, same architecture set. Gear push from Lucho. Oh, Hera diving the TC. Diving the TC. What is Lucho doing? Where Hera kills 2 geese and absconds with a 3rd. Lucho was just pushing deer, and he was paying so much attention to that deer push that Hera just went right under the TC and did some laming. Oh, Hera, what is that? Anyway, over here, Hera doing his own scouts. Peace was never an option. Not for Hera. The deer are getting pushed in. He's not playing around after that elephant lame. He's getting his revenge. What is the most common architecture set? That has to be Mediterranean now, especially with all the expansion stuff that's been added to it, right? They gave that to Byzantines, then Italians, Spanish, Portuguese, and now Armenians and Georgians have it. And am I missing other Mediterranean architecture civs? Maybe I am still. The Sicilians have it, right? Oh, 10 for East Asian. I guess that's true. East Asian now has a lot of architectures with that architecture. I'm thinking of before the Three Kingdoms expansion. Yeah, don't you miss the days when expansions came with architecture sets? Those were the days. East Asian's the most with 10. Alright, next time I want to mess more quiz, I'll have that answer in the back of my head. Although by that time it'll probably be another DLC and the answer will change. But nice Ville pick from Hera. Can't even farm in peace by that TC. Can't take the geese, can't farm. The TC is a danger zone. Hera is so good at dodging those arrows. Getting the scouts underneath there. Now what's this? Lucho forward with his own scouts. Can he hit anything? I have a house going up for Hera as the spear comes forward. Spear will look to poke the scouts. We'll get 2 pokes in, spreading the damage among 2 scouts. Some defensive scouts come back for Hera. Might need to wall his wood line. Bring the spear over. Will he bother even? He's not gonna bother. He's gonna think I have the spear there. I don't need to. I have enough defense with my own scouts. If he tries to dive my vills, it'll be an advantage for me because I can fight the vills, or I can fight with the vills. Nice gate. Oh, never mind. There was a hole. There's always a hole. Almost a nice gate from Hera to trap the scouts. Yeah, only Cumans and Tatars have the Central Asian. That's where the workshop has the ram instead of the mangonel. This Hera player seems pretty good. Seems like he might have played AoE 2 1 or 2 times in his life before this. I know he grabbed 3 geese and Lucho didn't even see. Spears come for pokes on the scouts. Scouts keep running around and try to get away. At least common architecture was Indian for a while. That's true. Only 1 civ with that until they had the Dynasties of India expansion. Wasn't that even a mod on the HD edition? I remember I used that mod. I forget if it was added in officially, because originally the Indians used the Middle Eastern architecture. Same as Byzantines, Saracens, Persians, and Turks. So, scouts still just hoovering all around. Hera, or Lucho, about to finish those berries. He's just adding in more farms, but left a hole in the wall. Okay, we'll build it. Hera might have tried to snipe a farm there. Hera, ooh, finally taking some pokes, so he's not paying attention to something there. Splits his scouts up into 2 groups. One chased by spears, the other can't fight here against the scouts. Maybe he wants a Vilpic, but won't have time to grab it. Wheelbarrow is in for Hera. And he is going for a pretty big wall. Not going to encompass all the golds from the start, but if he goes to the edge of the map here, it would be completely safe. That's gone to the edge by his main gold. Did he call Rage Forest unprofessional? I didn't see that. Honestly, I think Rage Forest is one of the best tournaments there is. I think having a proper investment into it, making it a big event, would probably inspire more professionalism in it. But PA West, what about that? No, I'm from Jersey. I'm not from Western PA. I have no idea what you're actually asking, Saratus, but hello. Oh, play all 3. Yes, play all 3. Okay, so Bloodline's in, armor on the way for Hera, and he might look to take a fight. No Bloodlines for Lucho, so Hera actually overall with more HP, even though he's down by 2 scouts. I don't know who actually would win if they engage there, whoever probably gets the better engagement. Ooh, Horse Collar for Hera. He has done now at least 18 farms without Horse Collar. And he will, oh, 3 of them expiring right in a row, look at that. I need to replace them. But there he goes. Not too bad, as he, you know, even with Horse Collar, you gotta replace him at some point anyway. The team game tournament sucks for the rest of the year. I'm still hoping for a good Nations Cup. But we'll see about next time we do Cartographers, if that's next year. So Hera up to the Castle Age. As the scouts come over, they're doing their hoovering. Double stables for Lucho. Light Cav on the way. Passes out by the gold. And spears come for some pokes on the scouts. That's a lot of scouts from Lucho, and Hera's kind of trapped by the spears, actually. This could be a good fight for Lucho. Let's check the HP. Actually, no it won't. No it won't. He didn't have bloodlines. Ooh, if he had bloodlines, that might have been a good fight for him. But Hera with the upgrades was able to take that fight, pick off the spears. And Lucho had the numbers there, but he just didn't have the upgrades or the HP. Now he can fight. And even against the light cav, he'll outnumber them. Knight coming forward for Hera. So Lucho just did not have the upgrade in time. And Hera is victorious, 2-0. And the most repetitive thing of all is how boring AoE 2 has become. Hello, Influenza. So 19-9, KD. Lucho, more res collected as the Slavs, but I wish you could somehow see res collected versus res spent. I'm not sure how to exactly what the number I'm looking for there is. But you kind of want to see maybe res collected plus resources saved from the Magyar's discount. That could be something I'd want to see, like resources collected plus saved from Civ bonuses. That might even be a more useful stat. Ooh, I'm liking that stat. The grid capture rate show Q text in the rows of text. The text would be present on the UI, but the time would not decrease. Ah, you mean like up here instead of down here? Like that, maybe? Also, because Cumans and Tatars lack the keep, they are the only architecture set to completely lack part of the standard tower line. Oh, do they not have graphics for that? They should have graphics for that. I guess the Mezzo Stables didn't used to have graphics. They do now for scenario editors. And like bombard towers. So that will be a 2-0 lead for Hera, making short work of Lucho so far. And now he'll have his home map of Pacific Islands. So Slav's losing to Magyars there. I feel like Hera just had the better civ draft and the better civs for those two maps, but perhaps that's from Lucho's prioritization of the Armenians. Maybe he could have gone like Armenians Magyars and then forced Hera to do another different civ for Land Madness. Because now I think it pretty much has to be Armenians Vikings. And they're in Pacific Islands right away. Jar unique unit tricks me into thinking it's a loading screen every time. What? Like a Jar unique unit? Oh, because of the circle? Like it's like a circle on a loading screen? Romans and Armenians for the architecture set. Oh yeah, Romans, they also use the Mediterranean architecture set. So I'm missing one. We have Byzantines, Romans, Italians, Sicilians, Spanish, Portuguese, Armenians, Georgians. Oh, that's all 8. That's all 8 then. Romans are the ones I was missing. All right. So here we are on Pacific Islands. This is Hera's home map. Why, Hera? Why you gotta do this to us? I've never been a fan of this map. I don't know. Some people absolutely love this map. But we have it. It is the DE default version, so some relics are going to be out in random locations on the Mangrove Shallows. Some will be on the islands here in the middle. And where's the final relic? There should be 5, right? There should be 5. Okay, this is how we find the 5th one. We deselect 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, right here. I should have been able to see that. It was nestled among the deer. Oh, when the deer are near it, they cover it. Yes. This is one of those weird map scripting things where the order in which you place objects sometimes determines the order in which they appear on the minimap. But then you also want to place objects because in the order of how important they are. Because you want to make sure that there is... sometimes when you place an object, you create constraints that other objects have to avoid it. And you want to make sure you place them in a way that the relics, like, always spawn. So there's this different tricks to what you do. And okay, Lucho, he is transporting the scout. He's going forward, and he might find Hera's Island. Pacific Y-lands. Hello, Helios. Like Byzantines with the Middle Eastern architecture. I did too. They were my favorite civ with my favorite architecture back in the day. Like, remember Constantinople with that architecture? In Barbarossa 5, that was so epic. I also miss the Willow Kingdoms days when every civ had their own architecture. What does early scouting do? Gives you a score lead. It threatens Hera by having... Oh, what's Hera gonna do? Oh gosh, the transport ships from both players are gonna be here, and Hera just gets inside. Oh, and he gets a hit advantage because the scout was attacking the transport. So Lucho's gonna grab his own transport and just sail away. Hera's gonna chase. He's gonna chase him with the transport. Okay, no, he's gonna do his own scouting. Or you should have chased him down whenever he got out. You get out, chase after him. Unblock architecture. Andromeda likes the cube mod. Yeah, you should check out Phosphoro's stream. He goes a step beyond cubes and uses flat squares. So absolutely no misclicks for him. The Britain's castle is great. I think my favorite castle is also like the Teuton's castle. They kept the classic one, right? I think that's a really nice one. And it's just like it looks like classic AoE2 graphics. Oh, speaking of AoE2 graphics, all the time I see like Reddit posts about people doing AoE2 Legos. And pretty soon I think I'm going to do an AoE2 Lego stream. And you might be asking, why does Lego officially have AoE2 Legos? Well, it's a technicality because they're coming out with a Shelby Cobra Lego set. And that's supposed to come out early July. So if I'm gonna hope to get that and then do a Lego stream with the Cobra car. Is the sound mod? What sound mod? An official collab for an integrated game? An official collab that they're making a Cobra car that has nothing to do with AoE 2 other than coincidence. I don't know if what the stream category is, if it should be AoE 2. Probably should be if it's a Cobra car. And AoE 2, they have a partnership with the Louvre right now. So if you go to the Louvre, if you're in France and you're up for visiting museums, they have a Mamluk exhibit, and you can go there and play AoE 2. There's also a mod where you can download a custom scenario and play it, so you can like practice before you go to the Louvre, then go get the high score at the Louvre. His promo code, how do you turn this on for a discounted Lego Cobra car? That would be great. Sometimes, I had seen, I think Sebastian do this a couple times. If your opponent isn't paying attention, you can land their island at the right time, just right here, right? At the timing when they're leaving their TC to go chop all the trees and stuff. If you time it right, you can have your scout get there and grab their water buffalo, and put them on the transport and run away with them. So mule cart on the center island for the Armenians. Armenians, Vikings, the water matchup we'd expect. I feel like Vikings usually have the advantage in the Castle Age, but late game Armenians should have a huge advantage with Cilician Fleet if they get their full upgrades. Imagine paying for a ticket to the Louvre just to play AoE 2. And maybe how do you turn this on will be a discount code. I don't know. I mean, that would be a good tie-in. I'll have to talk to their community management team about their next Louvre partnership. Yeah, I mean, AI voices have come a long way in the past couple of years. I remember playing, even just a few years ago, some Philadelphia scenarios where you tried to use like Google Translate voices or something of that equivalent, and they sounded awful. But nowadays, you could probably get really nice AI voice acting if you're just doing custom scenarios. Yeah, how the Vikings and Armenians ended up in the Pacific is a good question. The Blue scenario is kind of brutal if you play on hard. I'll have to try it out. I haven't tried it yet. And Impure Ziggurat, thank you for the follow. So both players, no men-at-arms aggression, just some galleys on the water. A couple galleys now being, or a triple of galleys now being queued by Hera. Only 2 docks though, maybe Lucho coming forward might have an advantage. Maybe a slight timing advantage on pumping the galleys out. Over time and feudal though, Hera will have more galleys as the Vikings will have their discount. And more galleys on the way from the docks. You were modding Skyrim. I'm surprised to see just a huge library of villager voices. Oh yeah, there's that first-person AoE 2. How's that coming along? Now that Skyrim just reminded me of that. So nothing really going on in the middle. Players just patrolling with their scouts. And galleys might be able to annoy Hera's woodline slightly, but he can just run the Vil. Oh, look at that rock. Ooh, they didn't put outlines behind the rocks, so you can hide your demos behind the rocks. Dave will be happy. FreakinAndy will update us eventually. Oh gosh, you actually just scared me. Skyrim actually predates HD. Skyrim was 2011, HD was 2013. So Hera, even with Loom, might lose a Vil. Down she goes. And that's a 2-0 Eco KD in favor of Lucho. Now it's up by a Vil. Down by 2 fishing ships, though. Hera has more. And okay, Lucho coming around. Hera leaves the dock. Hera with fletching. Lucho doesn't have fletching. Hera's getting chased down, though. Lucho has the numbers. Hera maybe has the micro on his side. Picks off a galley. He's microing back, side to side. Oh, a galley micro. Hera is pulling off so smoothly, but not that great when he is down in numbers. I have one more galley to select. I'll try to take as much HP off of this one as he can. And he stopped microing for the moment. And more galleys even from Lucho. Hera with the score lead still. But Lucho more res collected and more galleys and left fletching on the way. Are we getting water walls? I hope not. They're in the Realms mod if you want to play with them. But they're one of those things I think is better left for custom mods and scenarios and not for the real game. And thank you, Marafe125 for the follow. This water wall. I would be very scared. Imagine like a water wall here. We can already dock block, and I think that's fun enough. You can mangrove shallow wall some maps. The galley is taking out the dock. And Hera just giving up on water at this point. He somehow still has 7 fishing ships. Oh my gosh, Hera. Oh, it's DE's version of Pacific Islands. Oh, and he's doing it. He had a mini pond at the back of his island. He's just doing safe fish for the fish traps. This is the first time I've ever seen anyone do this. Everyone always complains to me about maps like Migration that have little ponds there. And I'm always like, you know what? I've never seen anyone actually fish trap back there for safe fish. And now I've seen it. Hera is doing it. He doesn't need to fight on the water if he has safe fish. And then maybe he'd lose to Armenians anyway. Maybe he just wants to get up to castle, do longboats, then get back on the water. But he is doing it. Safe fish at the back. A big fan of your strategy of AoE 2 and try to follow it while playing with friends. Well, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Hello to you. And tower rush from Lucho. He sees Hera on the wood line. Hera already has a tower, so won't be able to build a second unless he gets more stone. Hera, concerned with clicking up though, should be up to the castle age in just a moment. Doubt gives you lemons. Yeah, so I mean, well played by Hera, right? This is a completely safe pond. We've seen Arabia players dock the ponds on Arabia and fish them. It is quite efficient. It is quite efficient, yes. I mean, the only bad thing is he maybe put the dock in a bad spot. Could have moved it like a tile over and then gotten a second dock up. Maybe he still has room for a second dock. But I think if he repositioned the dock, he would have gotten more fish traps here. So the Rage Forest Pond Boom, Ornlu's Nemesis. I mean, one of the biggest balance changes that was probably unintentional was just being able to place the fish traps and fish them properly. Remember in AOC, they were like the farms, right? The farmers. We see this villager farming in the center of the grid tiles. They used to farm on the left corner. So if instead of farming in the center of the tile, the villagers were on the left corner doing their farming. And same thing with the fish traps. You had to set it up so that the fishing ship had enough room to farm on the left of the fish trap. And it was really awkward to place them, so no one ever did them. Then they updated that so the fish traps worked correctly, but you couldn't actually start constructing the foundation while the fishing ship was on top of the fish trap. There was an obstruction check, so you had to start construction from off of it, and then later move on top of it, either to finish the construction or to fish on top of it. So usually you'd see players do them one tile from the dock, but then they changed that so you can start it and it doesn't block the fishing ship from constructing it. So now you just put it right next to the dock all the time, and you have so many fish traps in a pond. Can you share the Discord link? If you're interested in my Discord, just !Discord. It should be in the chat. Bot should do it. It's also underneath the stream if you scroll down in the panels there. So Hera doing a TC in the middle. He's up to the castle age. He has some more res collected. And he's getting a knight out. He's getting 2 knights out. Actually, he's double stables in the middle. So double stable Viking knights that will stop the early archer and spear push from the Armenians. And some small walls there from Lucho to keep the lumber camp, or not the lumber camp, the mule cart lumber eco safe. And nice use of the mule cart to take the rhino. Gill nets for Hera with the safe pond. Oh no. Yeah, this is why we use custom maps in a lot of tournaments. It's a ton of work for me to make the custom maps, but you don't have these type of disadvantages or map inequalities. So spears are going to go down to the knights. Early castle age, so the knight will counter the spear line. Fortified church going up. Those build so fast. Now all the vills garrison. Any other save, there'd be a massacre here, but only the vills that don't fit will die. Wait, do you need to eject the relic in this case to fit an extra vill? Oh, I guess you do. The relic's taking up space where the vill could be safe. Oh, that's true. They could have done the early pikeman upgrade. Oh, and then like clicked Halb right away. We could see Halb versus Knight. I mean, these are still Viking Knights, so no bloodlines on them. No husbandry. And only the second armor upgrade. They won't even get the imp armor later. So another TC to the south there for Lucho. A relic railgun thing? What do you mean? I mean, the relic does shoot arrows from the fortified church. I don't know what you mean by the relic railgun. That's an interesting one. Sanctity on the way for Lucho. Outposts cost stone despite not shooting arrows, but fortified churches do. You sound like the type of person who needs an Ethiopian team bonus in your life. Are you saying the arrows are stone tipped? Well, they don't cost stone to shoot arrows. Build a bunch of monasteries, fortified churches next to each other, put their ejection point on the... Oh! You speed transfer them back and forth, and does that affect the reload time? I've never tried that. That's a good idea. Redemption on the way now for Lucho. No siege added in yet for Hera. I don't know what redemption will do. Okay, never mind. He does have siege. 2 mangonels, so maybe redemption will be useful there. What else does he have? He has sanctity, redemption, probably needs atonement and fervor and devotion, as we do have monks from Hera. Viking monks are not themselves all that good, but they do have atonement and fervor, so they could actually be equal in the monk versus monk fight, unless Lucho were to do heresy. Castle where? Well, both these players basically at Castle Stone now. Hera might need to buy around, but Lucho there could drop the castle right here, if not for those mangonels. Are gonna go pick up the relic. That monk has to be careful he doesn't get mangonelled. Build stone walls around a tower. It should turn into a new building. It's like if you build palisades around a Dark Age house, it should turn into a barracks. I remember that series of Reddit posts about that. So triple fortified church. If there's one thing that stops a mangonel, it's a fortified church. So atonement on the way for Lucho, imp on the way for Hera. And at this point, Hera can just castle, go imp, and then get the trebs popping. Stone walls around a castle, it becomes a wonder. Ooh. What about stone walls around a Fatoria? What does that become? There's the castle from Lucho. That'll hit the TC. Has to be careful about the mangonels, though. And what's better, Armenian champions will get more HP than Viking champions, right? As Viking champions don't need a unique tech like the Armenians do. But Feridus is plus 30 hit points. And Vikings are just plus 20% hit points for a unit with less than 100 HP, so plus 30 is going to be better. A Fort Aurea, if you fortify the Fatoria. Oh, I like that, Butterfly Joe. Viking champions attack faster? No, they don't. It will if you do chieftains, they'll have bonus attack against Cav, and maybe some other effects now. they'll get gold when defeating villagers, trade units, and monks for infantry. And maybe berserks could be an option, but... See, still feudal age galleys for Lucho, but Lucho has the water. Hera actually went to the other island, and he's peacefully building a TC and collecting resources there, up by 20 vills and up to Imp. So, doing his castle in a very defensive spot, doesn't know exactly when Lucho will be up, so he's just going to take a safe Trevor here. And he's up to Imp. Lucho calls the GG upon seeing Imp. And Hera, look at that res collected, up by 4.6k. He'll have fish traps in the pond. He's got 11 fish traps there. He's got more eco over here. So Lucho, even though he won the water, he didn't actually win the water. Hera fish boomed in the back incredibly well. Lucho had no idea until the GG was called. But Hera actually had significantly more fish than the player who won the water, because this is not a map with a lot of deep fish on it. They're very spread out. And Hera had completely safe fish traps, which is all he needed. And then could win the middle. So 3-0 sweep for Hera. Easy for him. And Lucho, unfortunately, will fall to Hera. Yeah, plus the free wheelbarrow and handcart for the Vikings. So Hera's eco is amazing there. That's 3-0 for Hera in Group A. And the next set we have in Group A will be ACCM versus FreakinAndy. So also a Group A set. Oh, but I never actually said that I was live on Twitch. I should post that in my Discord. So, next set coming up. And I'll swap over to the waiting for drafts screen then. And I'll just get my titles updated. This will be ACCM versus FreakinAndy. I'll update the title on YouTube as well. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate if you're watching over here. I know T90's streaming, but it's still good that we have decent viewership even with at the same time as he's streaming. I think that's a good step forward for the channel to be able to do that. There's some Spanish channel, I think, casting. I don't know if that's Spanish. Maybe it's a different language, but there's an AoE land being casted by AlphaCast. It has 9k viewers. I don't know what that is. See, where is the Barrio Discord? There we are. Alright, so we're just going to wait for the drafts for the next set. And just like we always do, we'll get the ads out of the way on Twitch, I think. Oh, that was a fast set. I didn't even have to play that many ads to clear them. I'll go grab a quick refill on my water while we wait for the next game. And I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. And why is Viper not streaming? Viper's on vacation. Viper is on vacation. And let me grab this. Oh, we have a wreck already. Very quickly, I gotta update the overlay. They're fast on this wreck. Right, there's one link. Here is a second link. Boom. And let's double check what side of the drafts each of the players are on. ACCM should be on the left, if I recall. Yep, he's on the left. Download the RAR file. Put that in my save game folder. Get my other Rex out of the way. Zip extract this. Thank you, 7-zip. And let's go game number 1. Oh, what are these colors? The players picked colors. Yes. I love it when players pick colors. We'll have Medieval Masters also in Group A. FreakinAndy will be playing as the Orange Wu to the southwest, and ACCM will be playing as the Cyan Japanese to the northeast. I don't know what color the Wu are in their campaign, but in the Kyoto scenario, in the Battles of the Conquerors, the Japanese were cyan. And oh, yes. We have a cyan pick, my favorite color. And hello, Ponytailand. Or Pony Thailand. Either Ponytail and or Pony Thailand. I think Wu are green in the campaign. Okay. So, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. This set will be Andy and ACCM. I think this set might conclude Group A. And I think the group stage probably concludes this Sunday, which is tomorrow. So I'll do what I can to cast as much of this tournament as I can. While also needing to cast my Carto community sets. So I'll hope to cast them as well. Playoffs for those should be next week into next weekend. The Zebra taken under the TC, Lumber Camp in the back for ACCM, and Andy kind of has to go a bit forward with his Lumber Camp. And I hope we've learned our lesson that if you're against the Wu, you have to go longswords in the Castle Age. I've not seen anything else work. This will be a 2-hour set. A 2-hour set. I mean, if we have Fortress as a map, it can be a 2-hour single game. This is the DE Fortress that is absolutely huge.
Wait.
In the Noryang Point scenario, the Chinese are orange. Oh, that's true, but I guess the Wu are not. I mean, they're Chinese, but they're not the Chinese Civ. Their idea of not, quote-unquote, splitting the Chinese was they just didn't rename them. They tried to avoid the controversy of renaming them to the Song just by the fact they didn't rename them, and they still completely butchered them by removing their camels. The hidden change up of a Civ. So Cross, I think Cross is about as standard as maps get these days. Ooh, look at this! ACCM with the H for Hera Gold. This should be good. Wu can't get away with their standard play against the Japanese. Well, that's what you'd think, but I have seen the Japanese player try to go Cav Archers against the Jian Swordsman. But maybe ACCM's the type of player who will cook up some longswords. Even the monks shouldn't be as effective against longswords, just because they're less expensive than knights, and conversions are not as worthwhile there. And also probably more numerous longswords. So once again, this is the version of the standard ranked cross where you have an overabundance of fish in the lakes, not the 8 per lake that we have in the most of the tournament versions we've had in TTL or Hidden Cup. There's 8 per lake. The John Swordsman. I say Jian or Jian. I'm still not exactly sure how to pronounce it. So if you know, chat, you can help me out. Andy will be fishing here, also adding in the fishing ships. He does get that food from the dock. Remember, plus 65 food for production buildings and docks. So if he does go for a barracks, which he's doing right now, we'll get plus 65 food from that. Mr. John Swordsman. No, not the John Swordsman. Their names are not John. In the campaign, the narration's more like Chen. So the, like, Jian Swordsman then? Well, we'll have some militia at the start for Andy. Scout will pick a Vil. The Vil has Loom, though, so that's just a waste of Scout HP for ACCM. John Slowsman. Until they go into they lose their HP and they go into fast mode. And then they're just Johnny Speedsters. The feudal age on the way for ACCM. From John Slow to non-slow. That's right, they are the John Slows. In shield mode, they're John Slows. So, defensive militia from ACCM. So, as the Japanese will be sending the militia forward in, well, faster attacking versus healing. They'll heal 10 HP per minute now that they're in feudal, and for how low their HP is, to heal that fast is amazing. You take a fight, you run away, you heal, you run back, you fight again. Men-at-arms for both players on the way, along with double bit axe. You're not going to see horse collar because you're not going to see farms with all the fish they have. And do we have sneak docks? We do have a sneak dock for Andy. No sneak dock for ACCM. So just a forward dock for Andy, but ACCM will spot that with his fishing ship. And the men-at-arms not going to find an avenue for damage. They could be hitting the scout. I'll get a whack on him. As now more men-at-arms come forward for Andy, trying to teach ACCM a lesson. ACCM doing a 4th men-at-arms of his own. And this might be a map where you just go full men-at-arms. What is better, though, the Japanese men-at-arms or the Wu men-at-arms? Maybe the answer to the Japanese player going men-at-arms to counter the Jian Swordsman is just Wu men-at-arms. And maybe they heal enough that they're actually decent. Samurai, now those would destroy Jian Swordsman. But also Jian Swordsman from the barracks, so you get them out a lot earlier than you do Samurai. You know what would also destroy them? Cataphracts. Byzantines would be a great civ pick against them. Also great for this map with the fires, just don't have the same fishing eco that the Japanese does. And the Japanese probably a much better pick here than in our tournament maps because of all the fish you do have. ACCM try to heal up from 0 HP. Hey, you joke about that, but if you garrison them just as they have 0 HP and they're in their death animation, then they can heal. I don't know if they fixed that in DE. They fixed that in the user patch because units while they're dying were made so they could no longer garrison, I think. So that house goes down right away. That blacksmith, that Vil's gonna try to get the blacksmith up. Don't know about that. This feels like a fight that ACCM should win and win hard. Especially with the archers forward now. It picks off the scout. And now, of course, the Jian Swordsmen are dangerous if you go too heavy into the archers. That Vil almost dead. Andy trying to run. But the Vil will go down as the men-at-arms hoover around. Tower going up for Andy. He's going to try to get that up as he walls the archers out. Now, at the same time, ACCM has gone double dock fire galley defense and really investing into keeping his fishing ships alive. He's also docking in the north, and he'll start fishing there. Andy will be docking in the west, and he'll get a fishing economy in that corner. Yeah, regular swordsman line is great against the Jian Swordsman because they have that +2 versus shock infantry. And the problem is, what if Andy just does his regular swordsman line and then has healing swordsman? against the Japanese faster attacking swordsman. I don't know who actually wins in that fight. Maybe the Japanese still do. Maybe with proper micro the healing wins. I don't know, but that's a house that's down. And Archer is backing up the men-at-arms for now. They have fletching on the way. And he still hasn't had to do a farm. So while he has been disrupted, he hasn't really been killed yet. He has the fish. Andy going to be going for 4 fires here, but ACCM has a dock already. Imagine this map if you actually had to go galleys in the corners instead of fires. It'd be so much more micro-intensive. Andy with the counterattack. Well, Andy's sending his men-at-arms forward. ACCM needs to notice this. He's probably spending a lot of time microing in Andy's base right now, and he's going to lose a Vil on the berries. Oh, that Vil just glides right through the men-at-arms, but he will go down, as instead of running around the berries, he tries to path backwards to the TC. TC will garrison, keep the men-at-arms away. Always have to be wary of the fact you don't have as many Vils by the TC, since you're not farming on this map. But nice walls there from ACCM. And now he's just going to go for the House Destroy Rush. As men-at-arms on the outside will start hacking away at those houses. And fire is getting into the fishing eco, but these are Japanese fishing ships. They are very tanky. They can block the fire for each other. ACCM going to use his fishing ships as a shield. Or not. Or yes. It's almost working. But he'll get more fires out. And it still is 2 docks to 1. So disrupted here, but already has taken the close fish. Can use that fire to defend the rest now. These men-at-arms still trying to teach some lessons, but not able to find their way into the schoolyard, as ACCM is working with the walls and adding a lot of Vils to the berries, maybe finding 2 Vils over here. But she should make it back to the TC. Hard to kill Vils on berries when the berries are this close to the TC, and the archer defense also is out. But maybe if Vils path the wrong way, they might go down. Alright, that's another dead Vil. A bit overzealous there, going for 1 more, but the men-at-arms will get at least some value. Hoovering, continuing for ACCM and Andy's base. Andy, on a very narrow strip of wood, he's able to mine, or he's able to chop because of that tower, which also covers the gold mine. Stable for Andy's. He's gonna try to go scouts. Ooh, don't know about those. It's against men-at-arms and archers, both of which counter scouts, at least in the short run. And I don't think Andy, well, he's about to click up actually, but ACCM's up first. If Andy goes knights, I don't think that clears what ACCM's doing, especially if he loses the stable in the process. Alright, lost a couple of men-at-arms to a Vil fight and some TC fire. But the stable will go down. Those men-at-arms attack so fast. No reload for them, they just go right into their next animation. So stable down, I don't think Andy actually produced anything from it. I'll just go down. And we'll have forging on the way for ACCM, as the castle age is on the way too. Archers will come over, maybe get on the wood line. Start picking Vils. Ooh, and this is not good for Andy. This is not good at all. Some weak Vils there. Oh, where is that pathing? Where is that Vil going? How is she surviving on 1 HP? Archers can't pathfind their arrows. Nilly gives and Nilly taketh away. So there's scale barding armor, as ACCM will look to go cav. And he will go double stables and just double stable knights then as the Japanese. Maybe some light cav in case he sees monks from Andy. But bloodline's on the way. He has forging already, so he'll have all the cav upgrades. I think the score lies massively. I think it does too. But ooh, Andy going for another dock. ACCM has seen that, so he's going to double dock the north and then get some fires out. And he will also go for war galley, so he has fire ships as he's cleaned up the 1 galley on his pond. And should have no problem cleaning up this other attack over here. Archers must have worked as stormtroopers in Galactic Battlegrounds. So there's the GN Swordsman. Men-at-arms, hello, want to attack him? Want to attack him? Okay, well he is a decent attack against them. ACCM not quite paying attention there. Still hoping for longswords. Knights are disappointing slightly. And he tries to move out to the gold, but the knight's there to hit the Vils. So monk goes for conversions on the knights. Squires is in, and the knight will hit the monk as the archers come forward. Now the archers are useless against the Gen swordsman, but they're useful against the knights. Knights want to be fighting the swordsman, and that's what ACCM is doing. TC will go up, and he's using his entire village to raise the TC. There's 20 plus villagers there, and the TC will pick off the archers. What a TC. There's 4 HP between those two archers, and the Gen swordsmen actually are faster than archers, so why are they faster than archers? I don't know. Especially in their slow mode. Like, that is the John Slow version of the swordsman. They're still catching the archers. That's nearly ever given to us. The monument in King of the Hippo. So some stone being collected there. Light cav and husbandry on the way for ACCM, as he has 2 TCs and also is prepared to deal with monks with the light cav on the way. A house there for Andy has walled him for now, but he's still chopping the trees and the knights might get in. The aqueduct, I don't know if it was Nilly who gave us the aqueduct. Broken patch pathing. Well, then I don't think Nilly's pathing fixes have actually touched any path in any patch. I think they are just on the way still. And he did just do that interview on the GL podcast, so hopefully that is an indication that they are coming soon. I've been hearing rumors about it that he's confident in it. Sanitation? That could be the name of an upgrade. For the Roman civ. The sanitation upgrade. He gave us education. They gave us the roads, of course. That's obvious, we don't even need to mention the roads. What is that fire ship shooting? Nothing. That fire ship is somehow shooting over the Ville to get to the dock. That shouldn't be possible. Must be slightly off the Ville? The line. Okay, night comes in to kill the Ville. So that dock, ooh, a demo doesn't do anything. Dock will go down. And the Jin swordsman still her forward. ACCM trying to wall them out, go for his 3rd TC. Still defending with knights. At some point he's got to get a castle, then samurai, right? We might be able to see the new zoomy boys. Samurai have a charge attack where they zoom and then get close the distance faster. It's pretty silly. As a hippo, you don't care about pathing. Hippos just walk their way through things, assert their dominance. I saw some hippos IRL at the zoo in Berlin for NAC4. I took a trip to the zoo, went to the House of Hippos. Alright, scouts do not pick off the monks there. They heal each other up. And the Wu keep pushing forward. ACCM mining that stone. Could use the market to buy a castle, getting close to it. Loot his own monastery. The Japanese themselves have really good monks, only miss heresy. The Wu have a similar tech tree, only they also miss block printing, so they won't have +3 range in Imp. So that's a crucial upgrade in Imp to be missing. Also a lot of Jin swordsmen, and that is stone for a forward castle for Andy. He's going to make sure that it is stone walled in. The light cav will block the foundation for a moment, but he's going for it. Knight's going to pick the mangonel. ACCM will go for a counter castle. He has more villagers nearby, sending everyone to raise the castle. Monks want conversions on the Jian swordsman. And needing to wall, Andy will abandon that castle spot and run back. Meanwhile, ACCM actually winning the fight. He didn't really have a timer now that that went down. He's just going to try to pick off more monks. And maybe, just maybe, take a fight against the Jian swordsman. Right now, Andy will need a castle at home if he wants to stay safe. He's not going to have a forward castle for pressure right now. Yeah, we're working hard since '99 to get the pathing fixed. And there's another castle from Andy. Can't make a forward castle with 4 villas. You can if it's a clandestine castle. And then immediate watchtower reaction from ACCM. That will clearly be in range of the villagers. You might need double tower, might need... I mean, double tower there with a bodkin even might be needed. He doesn't have the stone for more castles. Does not want to let a castle go up on both of his stones. If that happens, then he can't go for more stone defenses. That's way too aggressive by Andy. Well, it feels weird, like he has the numbers advantage, but isn't able to turn it into winning fights against the knights. And there's a samurai. There's a samurai. There's a Zumi boys. Going for the mangonel. Now, monks want conversions, but samurai should absolutely wreck the Jian swordsman. The second tower from ACCM, still thinking of taking this fight. Monks are being annoying, mangonel is out, and now with the mangonel, ACCM has bought time to deny this castle. Still think Bodkin would be good for the towers, but the castle is denied. Get out the scale and duck. I mean, fixed pathing has to be proof that someone's a witch. Even more reliable than the scale. So samurai goes down. Do they do extra damage versus heroes? I don't know. We saw this hero in one of those other games. But with two mangonels, Andy, I think, is just going to try to send the Vils through their deaths here. Turned you into a newt? Well, clearly you turned back into a turtle at some point, so I guess you got better. Oh, mangonel gets a monk there. Light cav don't want to be converted. They will run away. Devotion on the way for Andy. When he gets devotion, ooh, the foundation, though, he has to delete it. Maybe he wants another foundation. Tricky against mangonels and rams, though. Now, don't John slow your own ram with a mangonel. Oh, you hit his ram. The three heroes have the unique unit armor class, so yes, indeed, then the samurai do have an attack bonus against them. Mangonel goes down. Vils go to repair the other mangonel. Towers will shoot the scout. Samurai will close the distance. And 101 Vils to 99. ACCM up by 3k res collected, though. Oh, while that was going on, he did get fire ships onto the western pond. And this will now be the triple pond domination, the TPD from ACCM. Not going to have the QPD. Andy's still on the pond to the south with some fish traps being added. But it will be the triple pond, at least. Monks beset upon by the light cav. We'll get a conversion eventually. That's TPD. I don't know. People have been telling me about the TPD all the time. I honestly don't know. I don't have a good feel for it. I know it means you own 3 ponds, but I feel like you need something more epic than that to have an acronym. So Imp on the way for Andy. ACCM not too far away himself, but will now be at a timing disadvantage in a potential Trub war. Up by 2k score though, so I don't know if that's much of a disadvantage. Still would love to see him just add in those barracks and you go two-handed swordsman to champion and rush the castle with them. Take them down. Take it down. There's another castle going up for ACCM. Mangonels will come forward. And some stone walls going up for ACCM. Keep the villagers safe. As the mangonels go down, and the samurai pick off the mangonels. That was a nice usage of converted samurai. I mean, Andy's gotten great value from his monks and his converted units now. This converted samurai keep their Zumi bonus charge. Oh, look at those zooms. And you go pick off the Vils. They go to plaid speed for a moment. And close the distance on their targets. Yeah, so the Wu have samurai now. That's a new balance change. Also up to imp over a minute faster than ACCM. So ACCM with triple castles versus double castles, though. Should have slightly more treb production, especially in this area, versus the treb all the way back here needing to come forward. Oh, it does a bit of a demo, but ACCM clears the dock. You could still fight the Jin swordsman here. As the samurai zoom in. And they'll pick a vill and probably just stay by this gold for a bit. Samurai war in the northeast. And there is Imp also on the way for ACCM. Well, Rams too. That TC. As the traction treb comes forward and starts to treb TC. Ooh, hits a ram. Ram's blocking the treb shots. So there's illumination, there's handcart. But there's 7 upgrades all queued at the same time for ACCM. Monk upgrades, archer upgrades, eco upgrades, vision upgrades, everything. Yeah, town watch, handcart, thumb ring, block printing, redemption, chemistry, and bracer. Oh, that's true. That's true. Castle number doesn't matter for the Wu because they have the traction trebs. You're right about that. It's going to be the fire archer unique unit. The fire archer is good against the Japanese? I don't know. So the Japanese player are now going to go cav archers. ACCM trying to cook a bit. Japanese will have those fully upgraded cav archers. Nothing special about them, just they're fully upgraded. Oh, actually, yes, something special about them now. +2 against archers. Now the Japanese cav archers are special. Traction trebuchets, though, 14 range, but can be converted at range from monks. Monks that 9+3 now do have block printing. Yeah, block printing and redemption does matter. Kind of like a bombard cannon replacement. But it would be awkward if there ever were a save with bombard cannon but no trebs. So nice job of defending from the trebs. They seem to be doing decently there, and they shoot multiple projectiles there. Trebs going for the castle, Monk's going for conversions on the traction trebs. Monk goes down, trebs work on the castle, and this will go down. Call the early Japanese cav archers against Wu? Well, maybe a situation where they work, where there aren't too many Jin swordsmen. Three trebs for ACCM. 4th treb, if you can deploy that, should be in a good spot. And those cav archers taking some traction treb shots. Converted traction treb. There it goes. Goes for the building immediately. And these things do have some pierce armor, but only 8 compared to the 10 attack of the cav archers now. So they will take them out. They'll also take out the monks. Converted traction treb being aggressive here. Units going down. That tower will go up. That's just the Stalin castle. There's the GG from Andy. And ACCM does it. Holds on to win 1-0. With the Japanese over the Wu. Didn't even need that many longswords to do it. Just the triple pawn domination into the win. And the next map will be Fortress. I'll just wait for them to post the rec. Inverted traction shrubs do not benefit from Cataperuto. Ooh, that's a good question. Also, GG's everyone on YouTube. And thanks everyone watching on YouTube. Hope you're enjoying there. We're almost at the Twitch numbers there. We have over 300 between the two streams, which, as I've been saying, for casting at the same time as T90, is really great numbers now for the channel. I might call it after this set though, especially if we have a long Fortress game. I want to make sure that I'm fresh for next week. Okay, and here we are. This time ACCM will be in the blue, so he'll be playing as the blue Vietnamese to the north. The berries are right next to the castle, so it's all good to mill them. Fortress, why you gotta do this? It's not regicide, just normal Fortress. We'll also have Andy here lowering the boar with his scout. And hello, J-Ro on YouTube, how you doing? So Andy can always heal up in the castle if he wants to. Yeah, I guess risky to do this when you don't also have the king with which to scout, but the map is so huge you kind of don't need to scout. Oh, you can also apparently retract your messages on YouTube. That's a nice feature that I'm pretty sure Twitch doesn't have. Ability to retract a message. No king is weird, yeah. They're ready for normal regicide. Problem with DE right now is the script is broken, and if they try to play Regicide Fortress, they get 2 kings. I cast any of the Cartographer's community games? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I've casted a couple of the sets from the highest division, and there are more games that I want to cast. But I've been casting so much Medieval Masters, I haven't had time for that yet. And hopefully, though, next week should be a bit better. Next week will be, I think, the Medieval Masters end. And I think next time we do Cartographers, I'll try to run the community tournament more in line with the main event. I think it'll all run smoother then. Not bind walls and castles from the start. That's what I tried to do with Valley of Kings. And maybe it would have been better as a 1v1 map, because I think people really liked it when they played it that way. For 2v2s, it was still a decent map, but I think we probably need a few tweaks to it. Lancelovus. Andy, too relaxing. Yeah, he's healing the scout, so he literally has nothing to do right now. You start with 500 food, so you're not going to not have Vils queued. See 0 idle TC from both of them. They both spam that crate Vil hockey as they load it in. Is feudal on the way for Andy. An interesting mining camp location from him. I think you made it to the semis on your category in yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I'll try to I don't know if I'll cast every single finals, but I'll try to cast a lot of them. I also have the AOQ event going on with some divisions I want to cast. or 2 divisions with games in them. Okay, so Barracks and Tower next to each other. ACCM up a minute slower. Vietnamese Bengalis feels like Vietnamese late game, like Rat and Archer, Imp Skirm, Halb Cannon should counter what the Bengalis can do. But with how open the map is, maybe Bengalis late game Hussar rating is the play. After Hera took very little time to dispatch Lucho, I think we might even be in for a long game here. ACCM on a 3-player map size. Oh gosh. Two very strong late game civs. Strong in different ways. So there's Andy up to feudal. Do more vills. Doing market blacksmith, so not as stable for relics. ACCM will see what he does when he's up. Has a good 8 farmers around the TC. And he is up. What is he doing? Market blacksmith as well. Question always becomes, do players add in Lake have to fight for relics? There's 2 villas right now for the Bengalis. Looking pretty nice. Decent eco lead as he's up to the castle age. And relic control will be important. There's 1 dead in the middle, and then 2 on each side. 1, 2 over there, and 1, 2 over here. What is the 80% pie chart thingy above idle villas on the scoreboard? Oh, that is military value. It's not a stat I ever reference or use, but it is the total resources spent on creating the currently standing military for an individual player or team. If units were created at a discount, then the value reflects the cost of creation. That is essentially, you spend resources on military. That is the value, total number of, or total amount of resource that has been spent on military. Now Andy could lose the scout there. Andy needs to run in a straight line to try to get back. ACCM gonna run away, not fall for it. See if you can pick off the scout again. And hello, Red Cliffy. So what riveting gameplay we have as the players boom. So second TC for FreakinAndy. Second and third TCs there for ACCM as the Vietnamese. Why did the Vietnamese get fire lancers? I don't know. I guess it must be historically accurate in some sense. They should have easier time stealing relics with the Rat and Archer. Remember, this is a huge, or not huge, but a 3-player map. So it is larger than normal. So Rat and Archer is defending relics. Don't know how well that's going to work. And one more TC in the back between the woodline and the gold, as now it is Andy's turn to try to get relics. We'll try to get the one that's close to him, maybe go after that one next. Middle one, maybe slightly closer to ACCM, but it's still the one to be contested. Does ACCM have a monastery? No, he does not. Just focusing on his TCs and his booming. No monastery, no workshop. And Also no ballistics either, so no university. ACCM doing pretty well so far on his boom and his attempt to catch up. Everyone's so focused on relics. They focus them in 1v1s a lot. Especially on arena. Our relics. We're our first relic on the way for ACCM. So this is a game of Fortress featuring ACCM. Put the over under at 30 minutes maybe. Peaceful, boom, Fortress, something, some soothing tree, chopping sounds, the video you need. This is what all of us love and aspire to do in life. So 4 TCs here for Andy. 3 for ACCM, but he can always add in a 4th. We'll probably see maybe a 5th for Andy to take full advantage of the Bengali bonus. Now, relics are easy to get with shift click, that's true. But you can also run into a scout that is thinking of sniping the monks. And the monks use their monk juice and get a couple of conversions on Rattans, but does provide ACCM the cover he needs to pick up that relic. And that will make it 2-1 actually on the relic count in favor of ACCM. Third monk or the relic somewhere on the map. Will the monk see the scout in time? Those were pretty fast as far as conversions are concerned. So military exploring a corner that doesn't have anything. Absolute insta. So there's another relic for Andy. Okay, so 2-2, and 1 still left over here. That'll be the last relic. Handcart on the way for ACCM. I'll need to make a more in-depth video about how monks follow while they have a conversion charged. It is not intuitive at all. But knowing how it works can save you in some situations. So Rattan archers break through the attempted house wall. Take out a Vil. We'll get behind the wall. Maybe take another Vil. Or no, it's gonna be Walden time. The market goes up from Andy. Rattan archers will just say, we have pierce armor, we don't care about you, we'll walk through. But no, Andy gonna build a gate. Might lose a Vil. Built the gate. 81 HP, that should be enough to keep the Rattans trapped. And the TC will pick off the rest of them. Will there be 2 left? There will be 2 left. Stone shaft mining, don't see that every day. But ACCM just doing all the eco upgrades, doing devotion, getting ready to do a fort castle. Monk going down. Andy's starting to expand out into the middle, doing ballistics, getting more control of the gold. ACCM investing into his blacksmith upgrades now with Botkin. Don, you mean? I told tower surrounded by stone walls equals donjon. And he had more rats than ACCM for a moment there. So, rat in there converted. More monks coming down. Yeah, Rattans versus Rauthas. Now it's a Rautha time for FreakinAndy. How did this work in the Silver League final? Felt like the Rat and Archers took decent fights in ranged mode, but then got shredded if the Rautha actually close the distance and go to melee mode. Let's get that out of the way. Rat and Archers on a hill. We're gonna have so much pierce armor they won't care about that. Thought those were trade cards for a moment. So it's Elite Skirm, Armor, Ballistics, and Imperial Age for ACCM, but he will be slower. Treadmill Crane for Andy as he's going to do a castle on the hill. So not going to be an early imp Trebbor, at least not away. This will be players hanging on for a long time. Neither of these players like to resign once they've committed, so this might be a long game. So buckle up, grab your coffee. Sometimes they forget it. I mean, there probably was a risk to dive with all the halbs that were forward. There's Imp. And we're probably going to see Trebs from both. Look at the gold. Oh, well, we have lots of gold for ACCM. He's getting ready to go Imp twice. How can you learn this game? Oh, just by playing it, I guess. If there are the Art of War tutorials in the game, you can play. Those are pretty helpful for stepping into multiplayer. Otherwise, just look up a couple of simple build orders and then start playing. So Castle Race in the north, lots of skirms for ACCM. Can he clear enough Rauthas with skirms? I think he can. So everything here in this raid gonna go down, but then the castle will not have much HP on it. The vills are dying, and the castle foundation already is treb out for Andy. And he's tribbing that down. It's hard to control so many things. It is. But you also get the point where as you're expanding out, the back of your base becomes less valuable, so you can do stuff like delete the buildings there and rebuild them on the front. That castle's not going to go up. No way that goes up. So Treb's here, trying to get in position for Andy to take out that castle. But hard with it on the hill. And with those two Trebs being forward. Instead, he's just going to go for another castle. Fewer defenses around it, but you can still reach out and touch it pretty easily. Not far away. Golly, strong Andy taking a score lead. He's up by, what's that, 4K res collected. And even against potential imp skirm, he's just owning with his own skirmishers. Maybe this won't be a 2-hour game, although this is ACCM. There's Imp Skirm. I'm coming forward, but Skirms have no way to stop Trebs. And that is now 7 trebuchets for Andy. And he has to repair his castle, has to repair it a lot. He needs a melee mode to snipe off a Treb, but he already gets one. Castle will go down, however. Castle will go down. And so will potentially a cannon. This castle being besieged. I don't know if the Tribs are going to be able to take it out. I think the Imp Skirms will prove a bit too strong right here. Both these players with 150 plus eco units. And oh, what is this? Elephants, Bengali elephants. He doesn't have elite, he doesn't have armor. He's just sending them against the skirms. That did not work at all. He's so close to getting all those trebs down. Treb goes down. Elephants push through the skirms. There's another castle on the hill phases here. I'm really holding the hill. Might need to add halbs at some point, but not having the armor on those Bengali elephants. They're just... There we go. Now +2 needs +4. It needs to 6 and it's okay. These elephants there are... Did I say Malay earlier? The only time I'm used to seeing elephants like this is Malay. Bengali elephants, they resist conversion a bit, resist some bonus attack. ACCM with the Rattans. Feels like he's taking the fight though. Andy, were elephants the right play? And now 43 military to 17 in favor of ACCM. He's pushing Andy back, but Andy can just move over to another castle, grab more woodlines, grab more stone, bring the elephants back, wait until he gets to 200 pop. Crop rotation on the way. They have style points to Andy, that's true. Yeah, 12 ranges. That's a lot of archery ranges. Trebs keep moving forward. We gotta protect him from the light cav. Andy has the points lead, and he's doing a good job of protecting the Trebs. Trebs take out the stable. Here comes one big push with elephants. I have no idea who's actually in the lead here. Skirms taking out these archer units and also the Imp Skirms. Elephants coming forward. Can the elephants clear the siege? Can the elephants clear the siege? The Rattan archers will have enough attack that they're pretty threatening to the elephants. So Andy didn't want to go elephant archer here because of the Imp Skirm and Rattan archers, so he's just going normal elephants. He has to hope that this will work. He has to hope that this would work as there are cannons out now. As all the armor will go for elite battle elephant, but he's losing a couple. Elephantos. Alright, we have just about 200 viewers on YouTube, so hello. Thanks for watching on YouTube. I appreciate all the support there. We have more on YouTube than on Twitch now. So Treb's coming forward, and Andy just can't take a fight here. He can't take a fight. He's going to have elite and pikes on the way, but very late for those techs that affect the elephants. On the left, some scouts are out and about with some halbs, make short work of them. There's a castle down here, just for the fun of it. And there we go, elite battle Ellie. And they push forward, immediately one dies. Yeah, ooh, cannons over there too. Cannons everywhere. Cannon to the left of them, cannon to the right of them. So a few units dead there. Now it's time for another castle to be Treb. 3 Trebs, so it's not just going to be a trickle situation. Paper money is the Vietnamese. Paper money's already in. Need some way to deal with the skirms, other than cannons, because they're on spread formation. Skirms hitting cannons. Now both cannons going down. Andy managing to find ways to defend as ACCM takes the score lead. As Trebs take out another castle. Nothing for raiding the villas right there. They take less bonus damage from special attacks, yes. The elephant was I clicked on died. So elephants pushing the rat and archers. Feels like a game of elephant versus rat and archer now. The Ratans just doing what they can to take out the elephants while the firelings try to stop the onager. Down it goes. Elephant hit by the onager. So it is onager, not normal mangonels, but upgrading to onager. How much gold's on the gold piles on the map? If there's any gold left, it's probably being mined almost out right now. 720. Elephant's still taking a fight. Skirm numbers, I mean, more military population for ACCM. But he's struggling to deal with the elephants now. There's a few fire lancers. The Vietnamese get fire lancers too. There's a blast furnace on the way. Onager goes down. Trebs on another range. Trebs need to just destroy this range. And, ooh, double Trebs on that workshop, or on that range. Two onagers as abnormal mangonels. Abnormal mangonels. Onagers pushing forward. We're 43 minutes into the game. Feels like it hasn't really gotten started yet. And clearing each other's buildings, but no one really getting a decisive advantage here. And he would need 10 relics to win this game, Gonsal. You are confident in ACCM. Or maybe he just needs to mangonel his own elephants. Onager's gonna get a shot off on the halbs. Okay, that was decent. See the corpses piling up in that tunnel. Confident in the Vietnamese late game. Okay. The elephants hitting the halbs. Like Cav trying to pick off the onagers. We'll get one. Elephants have to run from the halbs. And gathering on stand ground. Our entire reputation on stake with that prediction. They are opening up a bigger score lead. Been away from AoE2 for some time and feeling overwhelmed by the new civs and change of the meta. I have been casting non-stop and I still don't know the civs or if the meta changed or exactly how the fire lancers work other than that they counter Huskarls. You know, hit some skirms. Trebs there. Feels like this is just an army that can be overwhelmed, even though somehow Andy has the numbers lead. There are blue dots, and oh, there are blue dots here. Somehow Andy has not noticed this, but I didn't notice it either. There are raids in his home base. Well, that gives him more pop space for military, I guess. Huge, massive skirms here. And ACCM lost the castle from the hill. Will lose his trebuchet. He's missing some cav armor right now. Okay, he has iron casting, no blast furnace for this civ. Russians move in. Skirm protects behind them. There they go, the halbs are coming. But sometimes you can span halbs that without skirm, it's not cost efficient to fight with elephants forward. He's gonna pull back. Pull back a bit. Well, that is a lot of archery ranges. Didn't even have all of them. 12 plus. And it feels like Andy just has such a nice KD. He should eventually win this, right? 10k more res collected. Spending them perhaps more efficiently with not losing as many in the fights. Here come the onagers. Here come 6 onagers. Big fight on the wood line. Onager is getting the hits they need. Oh, not quite. Stable goes down. That's what matters the most, probably. These skirms are the dangerous task of being close to the Mega shots. ACCM selling. And he saw the price change and sold too, maybe. Ooh, nice shot on the imp skirms. South. Oh, yeah, south. ACCM. He's still here. He's still being annoying in Andy's base. Andy just hasn't noticed this at all. Let's say he needs to queue more villas, but he has 120. Needs more military. Oh, there's a ram push. There's a ram push that gets through part of the walls. And ACCM does not have a king snipe to go for because it's not regicide, but he can take out the monastery for the 3 relics. On the front, feels like we might have a big push, knowing that maybe the gold could run out soon for Andy. The other gold was mined. Ooh, the relics are ejected. Village repair, though, that is capped rams. And the monastery ejects the relics, but will be able to be repaired, and more monks on the way. Only wood to repair the monastery horse. Not one of the new special monastery fortress hybrid civs. Are fire lancers bad versus elephants? You probably want pikes in preference to them. So let's see. So Palbs have plus 32 against Cav, and then plus 28 against War Elephant. Whereas the swordsmen, if there are any left, well, fire lancers we can look at. They have plus 15 against Cav, plus 15 against War Elephant, so not as strong. And are there any more pikemen, or is that upgrade in? Yeah, all the upgrades are in, so help for ACCM now. And he feels like he doesn't have a great way of fighting the help. Our lancers look cool. It's good that you think that. Because, I mean, I guess they look cool. I've just seen them be OP. I haven't even pondered to think about their... Or I haven't even paused to ponder about their appearance. Lost all the onagers while paying attention to clearing his own base. Well, you make more money, maybe. And he's slightly down in pop. He's trying to wall the map. But ACCM is raiding with some light cav. Raiding everywhere. Bill goes down. This wall doesn't go up for Andy. And whoa, what is this? What is this? ACCM this entire time, he's had a clandestine economy in that eastern corner mining stone. Andy didn't see the stone there. He has no idea ACCM's back there. ACCM could just let Andy wall everything up and make these stables amass 20 Vietnamese elephants. Then come chonk his way all over the eco. You got in the east? Yes, that stone mine in the east. Halb's going for the light cav. ACCM trying to defend. Light cav gonna take out a couple of halbs and have to hoover around. Not sure Andy can make any more. Well, he's 3 relics to 2, but that's not like he has 5 relics and can hold forever. He has no gold income at all, and no way to get gold other than by selling. By using the market. We have chain barding armor on the way. The Skarm fight continuing. Imp Skarm versus just Bengali Skarm, fully upgraded Skarms. They have all the upgrades like, oh, they don't have Thumb Ring. Okay, fully upgraded aside from Thumb Ring. Doesn't matter much for Skarms, though. Oh, light cav raids on the TC. ACCM needs to notice this. There he goes.
Hey.
One light cav hoovering around, just picking villas here and there. 23 lumberjacks roughly equal 1? Okay. Oh, 1 relic with paper money, that is. So, alright. Light cav going down, cannon coming forward on the skirms. And ooh, almost walked right into a trap shot. Okay, this is a lot of skirms. 45 skirms. Not going to beat that with this few imp skirms. Especially with the manager on the way. Okay, yeah, 33 skirms. They need to refix that HP. Kev goes down, but there are more in the back. Helps pushing. Can the Onager get a shot? And that was a decent shot, I think. Kind of surprised nothing died from that. And more houses to try to stop the light cav from getting to the cannons, but they are housed. This final shot, the Onager decides to chop some wood. Skirmishing, Onagers Onagering. And what is this? Halb raiding. Andy just says, you know what? You can't raid my economy if I don't have an economy. Deletes all the vills. A few light cav will get in on the tree line down here to the east. And he already prepared for the wood game by destroying ACCM's wood lines. Is that what he's doing? I mean, he's kind of doing it. He is doing it. So, 2.5k score. Over on the left, Andy has wood. Could even overchop, but he has the light cav there to win the fight. Both of these are non-hussar saves, right? Light cav and light cav. Slightly better for Andy as he has a discount and 1 extra blacksmith upgrade. His wood getting stolen in the east. Not many vills stealing it, at least. Look at that stockpile too. 7k wood, 4.3k food for Andy. You remember how there were no kills till like 25 minutes? Halbs will come forward. Skirm is running around. And he should win this with that res collected difference. And looking at the score lead, he should win it. He's almost at 5k score. ACCM with the sneak. This will be annoying for Andy to clean up. Arson on the way for Andy. Hope no one remembers who you said would win. I don't. Okay, raided on the wood line from Andy. Raiding the vills, he is up by a huge res collected margin. Over 10k res collected. And these vills push it to about 5k score. So ACCM score territory now for Andy versus ACCM. ACCM could be losing a lot of vills in these wood lines. And fortified wall. So vills going down to light cav. That's a good raid. On the east, there's Halbs raiding the stables. I'm coming forward. Skirm's going for the workshop. Halb's poking the workshop. Yep, I have some Discord messages. Let me check this. Let's respond to a message here. We have we have a raid. We have light cav in the base. And Andy's everywhere. Let's zoom out. We'll zoom out and capture age. You see everywhere Andy is. ACCM's base. Fighting with raids over here. He's in the west. He's in the middle. He's fighting in the east. Andy just multitasking. He's everywhere. On another level. Alright. I'm feeling capture ages maybe sluggish a bit. Let me check my VRAM usage and see if that's spiking maybe. Ooh, my total VRAM usage is at almost at that 16k. I'm at 14.1 out of 16. The capture age better not crash anything. More raids on the side. ACCM staying at 200 pops somehow? But hey, Andy could delete 20 vills and then just push. So Gambeson's and Man-at-Arms. Okay, he's going for champions. Something to do with the Halbs is more than 5k score. I said an individual fortress game could be 2 hours, and that's what ACCM has given us. Halbs come forward for the light cav. Light cav run away. Janelle comes forward. Nice hit on the rat and archers. Oh, Onager comes forward. I should kill some of them. Our archer goes down. There goes. You know, there's orange everywhere. One blue light cav will die to towers eventually. There's orange over here. Over here. Up here. All the light cavs still raiding the base. There's orange here. There's an actual fight going on. Armor here. Ooh, some skirms out of position from Andy. They might be protected. He's every spot on the map is blinking. Yeah, this is just Andy trying to be safe. Go to the edge of the map to wall. The Vietnamese castle. Okay. I'm monitoring my VRAM. I'm getting close to a potential crash. Very colorful. And they're just two-handed swordsmen from Andy. Versus a garrison here. And I mean, he does know about this thing to the side, but he doesn't seem to care about it. Got the villain, got the wall up. That's what he really cares about. So skirms come over. And over on the side, we'll have some light calves fighting halbs. So much for Andy to pay attention to. I mean, ACCM clawing the score back a bit, despite being raided constantly. FreakinAndy so far way ahead in res collected, though. Maybe you are onto something with Onager and ACCM's woodlines. Like an Onager over here. Could take a few of them. Cav archers can... Or light cav can raid over here. A cav raid. I say, but Bengalis get elephant archers. We're 75 minutes into the game. Everything is blinking. Oh wait, there's a raid down here. Raids everywhere. ACCM. He's within 5k score again. He's clawing it back. Is ACCM able to do this? Can he claw it back? This might be a super long game. No way Andy loses this, right? Right? Which save is supposed to get the win? I don't know. It is a relic advantage for Bengalis, 3-2. Cav fighting scouts and halbs, getting a raid on the wood line. Yeah, trees can't be remade. Alright, halb getting lots of pokes. Another blue dot's kind of an Andy's eco. Andy trying to get more barracks up. Ooh, more barracks. He hasn't done any barracks yet. Is sending cav into halbs. Has an amazing KD. Has more res collected. He'll certainly have more eco kills. Oh, Woodline's still under pressure here. Halbs immediately take out the light cav. No pressure there yet. As light cav turn around there. Treating light cav for vills will be a score loss. I guess it will be, because the light cav are more expensive. Alright, hitting the TC in the west. A lot of the buildings in the west have been cleaned. They're up. Oh, capture age is doing it. It's doing it. It's crashing. It's crashing. Up. Let's hope capture age doesn't crash OBS. Capture age is the crash localized to capture age. It is, and not to OBS. Okay, okay. Swapping over to AoE2DE. Alright, capture age has done it. It has crashed on Fortress. Too much VRAM usage. It crashed my task manager that was monitoring the VRAM usage. And now my VRAM usage without capture age, oh, that has just dropped. That is not at 14 gigabytes anymore. That's at 6.3. Capture age is just a VRAM hog. I gotta turn the game sounds on. These like this is usually a decent level. And back to DE spectating. Capture age crashed again. Let me send another report over. Hopefully this is something they fix soon. These crashes have been mighty annoying. Memory leaks likely, yep. Yeah, brutal ram push on Twest's PC. Capture age going for the ram push. And I didn't have any onagers behind the walls. Not able to defend against the rams, no melee units. Funny how pro players don't onager woodlines. I mean, yeah, think about that. Imagine if woodlines had been onagered. So the in-game spec will be a bit off. Oh, and oh, never mind. We're almost done. ACCM calls the GG. ACCM realizing that capture age has crashed and mercifully calls the GG for us. As oh, you know what we can do? We can admire these Bengali keeps. We don't see these all the time. Bengali keeps. Oh, that's a nice architectural building. I like towers. What's that on the front? Can't zoom in anymore. I'm at 4K. Wish I could zoom in more. I need capture age. Andy was at 8K. Andy was at 8K wood a few minutes ago. You're right. At the end, just ACCM didn't have the map control. Andy does it. I'll tie it 1-to-1. Let's see this. We have normal in-game stats. Andy has stars everywhere aside from society where they're equal, and they both have stars. Or including that where they both have stars, not aside. More eco for everything for Andy, no questions there. More kills, fewer losses. ACCM was better for buildings though. 21 conversions for Andy, 117 army. Andy faster to every age. Oh, both of them 98% of the map explored. Andy clicked more technology buttons, played like he was playing for the score, had more vills at one point, more relic gold. GG. Oh, where am I? Wrong overlay. There. Alright. Well, that was Fortress. Lovely. Let's see if we can get the final wreck. It'll be tied 1-1. You're migrating to Linux. I will probably want to do that too. Well, you crashed Capture Age, Andy. ACCM held out long enough until Capture Age crashed, but it wasn't enough. It's a win for the Bengalis over the Vietnamese. I wonder how Byzantines would do in the late game against Bengalis. Byzantines are another good late game save just because of how cheap their trash is. Is that better than Imp Skirm? I don't know. But let's see. Khitan's on Arabia now? Potentially? Send the wreck of the crash. And let's also grab if I have any diagnostic log files. Main.log and main.old.log I'll send over. There. Doing everything I can. Alright, game 3. Let's go. Extract the 7-zip files. Mem1. No, Mem has had capture age issues too. And I mean, I have 16 gigabytes of VRAM. This is a capture age issue. It's not a PC issue. This is, I have a 5080, and capture age should not be crashing that. And Mem has a 2 PC setup, so if his capture age crashes, it doesn't crash his stream PC. But I know Daniela has issues, T90 has issues. There's just a memory leak in capture age, probably related to their state saving of Rex to make the version independent Rex. This crash has seemed to have been introduced around the time they introduced that. Now it's Khitans for ACCM, Georgians for FreakinAndy, and considering that I didn't need to change the patch version, this is the current patch after the pastures have been nerfed. So finally we're going to see a game of the Khitans on Arabia where they had been so dominant. Pastures still OP. Someone made a chart that showed their gather rates are almost the same. Well, they have definitely been nerfed, and sometimes even small differences can matter a lot. Maybe it is just a small difference, though. Maybe it doesn't matter at all. Georgians will have the healing scouts, so Georgians, the OP Civ from the previous DLC, against Khitans, the OP Civ from the current, most recent DLC, and they'll be off to the races against each other on Arabia. This will be a chicken version of Arabia, no deer, and by the looks of it, we will have 8 chickens, so maximum number of chickens. This is game number 3. Oh, nope, I just didn't update the scoreboard. There we are. I didn't update the scoreboard in Capture Age because it crashed. I updated the other scoreboard. Thank you for the reminder. As the 2 PC setup work, basically you have a capture card from one PC that or from one PC to the other. So you capture whatever is on the monitor instead of streaming the game directly from OBS. So you got OBS on one PC, you have your game on the other, and you're streaming from OBS on your streaming PC to Twitch, to YouTube, to wherever, and then you're capturing the monitor from the first PC where you have the game running. Well, I mean, maybe if Catans lose, it's just because Georgians are OP. The TC Vils hunt the boar. Aveline is there. The scout around the side. Jaguar roaming. What do Khitans do in a nutshell? Khitans create pastures and they create scouts. They don't have bloodlines, but they have double the attack from the forging line. So they'll have scouts that are not 5+1, but 5+2 in feudal, with a great food eco behind them. Even after the nerfs, it's probably still good. And then in the Castle Age, they have two options. One is just go to Steppe Lancers, which also benefit from that double blacksmith attack. So in total, with both upgrades, it's +4 in the Castle Age. Or they can go Cav Archer, because they have heavy Cav Archer available in the Castle Age and costs -50%. So that's Cav Archers with a ton of attack. Capture Age is CPU based or GPU based. Usually it's CPU based for performance, but the VRAM issues, obviously the VRAM is on your GPU. And considering I've upgraded my GPU to have 16 gigabytes of VRAM, it should not be hitting the limit. And the other day I tried decreasing the VRAM and it made the trees disappear, so I don't want to try that again. So the pasture gather rate itself is higher, but the Khitans lose their bonus, and the Vil walking time is increased. The barracks for ACCM. Both players up to feudal at the same exact time. Chickens over here for ACCM. Who is Mario? He is streaming it. He is a Spanish streamer, and he mostly streams on YouTube. So you can go check out his YouTube. I have his YouTube channel linked in the on my YouTube stream. I've tagged him on Twitch and on YouTube on YouTube. But I don't know much about his community because it is in Spanish, and that is a language I do not speak. But he is a rather large content creator. So stable, going up for ACCM. And he's Colombian, apparently. Stable going up for ACCM and scouts on the way out. And men-at-arms will be whacking at the house. Spear comes out to poke the scout, and Andy loses the scout. What a poke from the spear. And gets the scout immediately so close to the barracks, Andy didn't have time to react. And now I have to attempt to say this name. Takkala Tau Chiha. Thank you for the follow. Thank you very much. I appreciate you're here. As per Michael Scott, everyone should know Spanish. I can get away with German. I can at least. I was able to figure out what to do when my train was canceled when I was in Hamburg. I guess that's still, his German's still good enough to navigate the train system. But, Spanish... I only remember one thing about Spanish from middle school, and that is how to say the U.S. Pledge of Allegiance in Spanish. With Katam's men-at-arms will be OP with extra attack. How does the extra attack? Skirms, spears, and scouts train faster. Melee double attack upgrades. Well, if you are able to afford it, then yes. But I guess it's hard to afford early on when men-at-arms have their timing, because you need the blacksmith and the attack upgrade then. No, I haven't actually seen that. All the times Catans I've seen played have always been scouts, like ACCM's doing here. Yeah, right. I mean, they still have the farm that's Khmer plus Teutons plus Slavs in some regards, that it's cheaper, has its own drop-off site, and is more efficient. It's like back when the Malians first came out in African kingdoms, their wood discount applied to their farms, and it applied to everything, so it was cheaper docks, cheaper drop-off sites, cheaper farms. So it's like they had the bonuses of the Japanese and the Teutons and the Vikings all wrapped up into one, in addition to other wood discounts. So now defending at home is FreakinAndy. He's coming back with... I've never really seen this from players. Coming back with men-at-arms? What's he going to do with them back here? Just wall up? Maybe try to keep them alive for the Castle Age? Oh, okay. He's not applying pressure anymore. Maybe thinking he has applied pressure. Capture Age still displays solid blue. For the pastures, it is kind of bugged for the pastures. You know, they line up properly with the TC. At least they don't with the mill. Well, I guess you don't need to line them up with the mill. It's just about building them in places that are safe since they have their own drop site. I always say, one of the best design decisions of AoE 2 is that farms are 3x3, while mills are 2x2 and TCs are 4x4, and it forces you to think. Forces you to think a bit when you place your farms. Oh, I still not a fan of auto farm. I think that was one of the worst things they could have added. Isn't there too many? I mean, honestly, I'm just personally just not interested in new civs myself. I'd rather have AoE 2 that works rather than a game with lots of civs tacked on that doesn't quite work. As we have lots of issues that have been built up over the years, from pathing to map issues to lobby issues. It's not as smooth an experience as it should be, and I think it's not just more civs, but some of the quality issues that kind of show up and how the DLCs have been worse received. Exactly, auto farm only works at your if you have a good ping. It feels the auto farm is more of a. It feels like they took something from AoE 4 and just kind of forced it in without really designing it for AoE 2. So okay, quick wall there for Andy. He just gets HP on the house, but with that forging, the scouts now have +2, so they actually go through houses really well. And Vil gets enough HP on it that the Scarms weren't able to kill the Vil in time. And he's out for now. ACCM not able to get in, but he's up to the Castle Age. And that's when Andy's going to have to be really afraid of the Steppe Lancers. And we can look at the res collected now, just to compare the new farms. And that's 800 more res collected for ACCM. I'm going to open the scoreboard so I can see food specifically. Let's see, how do I do this? There we go, eco. Food collected. And yeah, food collected, he is up by around 700 more. That's basically explains the res collected difference compared to the Georgians. Right? Not like the Georgians have an advantage, and also the Georgian player isn't going scouts. So it's not, it's a different focus of the economy from Andy, so this probably isn't the best comparison. But we can see the pastures, even with domestication, starting to run out. Were these farms domesticated right from the start? Yeah, maybe he didn't do it early enough. Does StarCraft have 100k tournaments? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't follow StarCraft. Am I a fan of anything? I mean, when they do stuff that's good, I think I praise it. Like the map changes they've had, where I could use like math expressions in the map. I use those heavily in cartographers. I have a YouTube video I've been editing. It's gonna be like 20 minutes long about how great those are. The ability to change the map size. We made all those small maps for T90. That was great. So there are some changes they've made that genuinely have been good. Like the force drop hockey, that was buggy when it first came out, and I wish they'd ironed out the issues. But I think that was a great addition. There are definitely some good things. I think that it's totally overshadowed by especially the decreasing quality to pathfinding, and just some of the things that seem to be some clear misses. So, getting through this house now are the scouts for ACCM. He is up to the castle age, and he does now have step lancers on the way. But he's going to be pushing a Georgians player who can do a fortified church, can do a second TC, and might be able to get a lot of defenses up. Now, the elite skirms only will go or the feudal skirms only will go so far in defending the walls, but maybe they'll go far enough if Andy can keep repairing. It is now 44 to 43 vills, and maybe with fortified churches, if he goes for 2 TCs, he can maybe take a lead in eco. Gonna take some catching up, but 800 res collected difference. Oh, the Steppy's poking the monk over the wall, so he garrisons to avoid being poked. Step Lancer's over here hitting the wall. Oop, he's gonna wiggle a bit on the wall, but try to get in. How many civs does it have now? 50. 50, which is a lot, because remember when DE came out, it had 35, and they said they weren't going to add more, and they've added 15. So Steppy's going to go in, and we'll poke each other. That conversion on the Steppy is nice. You'll convert it and get all that extra attack. 9+2. Forward workshop now. Rocket carts for the Khitans. They'll try to break through the walls. And Andy doing a great job defending so far, keeping the Vil count pretty similar. And now has elite skirm. Yep, it is indeed Fergus. It is on the latest patch. I haven't looked into the specifics of what changed though. So skirms all go down. Another TC going up for ACCM, another TC going up for Andy. Ooh, oh gosh, imagine if Andy can dock the pond and do fish traps. I would love if he did that. Oh, Andy, please, it's Arabia with a pond. Dock it, pretend you're playing BF. Only 2 saves, Teutons and not Teutons. Okay, so rocket carts, they do outrange the fortified churches, but the fortified churches, especially for the Georgians, are not afraid of this at all. To repair the fortified church, same HP as a town center, just about. Yep, same HP exactly as the TC. But it's less than 1/5 the wood to repair the church. So every so often you just send a Vil to repair it, and rocket carts are not going to break that. They might break the walls and let Steppy start hoovering, but that's, I guess, a decent enough amount of army for Andy. It's okay. So 1k res collected difference, 900 res collected in favor of ACCM still. The converted Steppy will raid. ACCM getting a taste of his own medicine. Now, will this Steppy have the hill advantage? I don't think it wins the fight. No. Valiant effort, though. And this house is going to go down. Now, the house goes down, and ACCM can hoover. Question is, does he choose to? Can conversions come in? Monks immediately get 1, 2, 3 conversions. Spears come to defend from the light cav. And 1 conversion comes in. Do rocket carts have a faster fire rate than mangonels? I don't know what the mangonel fire rate is, but I can tell you this attack reload time is 5.50. So I don't quite know. I'd imagine they need to be the same, but maybe not. It feels like the individual attacks need to be balanced and not necessarily the DPS, since usually it's micro and getting 1 shot off. But I suppose it could be a difference, and maybe that's balanced somehow. There's Sanctity on the way. I prefer DE. Oh, DE graphics are better than capture age. There's no question about that. It's just you can't zoom in and out as easily, and you don't have all the stats and stuff. But yeah, there are definitely lots of shortcomings to using capture age. I think overall it's a better spectating experience than DE itself, but now I gotta monitor my VRAM usage. Rocket cart projectiles are faster, making them harder to dodge. Also remember they're cooler, so they're easier to micro because you pay more attention to them. Hera's coming in. I certainly prefer to micro a rocket cart. Exactly. Imagine having one of these things IRL. Shooting rockets everywhere. That monk wanted a conversion, but he thought better of it and decided to run to the TC. Now ACCM feels like the floodgates are open now for the Khitans to move in with the Steppies and the light cav, and the monks are going to need a lot of conversions and conversions quickly in order to stave off this attack. It's a lot of skirms for Andy, and maybe he's defending. Hasn't really lost too many vills here. And I say that it's an 18-3 eco KD, but with the extra TC, it feels like it's not that bad. Maybe finally the Steppies are getting the raid that ACCM needs. And Andy's surviving still, but ACCM has expanded the res collected difference, and now we'll go on to a 4th TC, up by 2k res collected. Now usually the Khitans have a weak late game, and maybe Andy's thinking he holds on long enough he can get to that point. He is pushing this back now, and overall the KD is pretty similar. Even if ACCM has killed 23 vills, he's lost a lot of army to do it. There's more churches. Yeah, I think ACCM is actually still pulling ahead in this a bit. And he needs maybe more churches, maybe this castle in a more defensive spot. We'll use it to grab some farms. Still, I want to see the dock, just for the fun of it. As a rocket cart in one of the newer Walking Dead seasons. So we'll have 5 camels and oh, those are some good conversions from Andy. Rocket cart goes down. And Andy with the conversions, still only down 3 vills, a larger army. And he's maybe got a counter push cooking here. It's down by 2.5k res collected, but that's a rocket cart ACCM will waste. And Andy's starting to push out. ACCM needs some monks of his own. Andy will get a 4th TC. ACCM will get TCs number 5 and number 6. What the heck? 6 TCs. What does he have, an eco bonus like the Bengalis? No? It's just pastures. Okay, well he's gonna look to get a lot of vills from 6 TCs then. Okay, what's back there? Some more pastures. Okay, ACCM. 6 TCs. 6 TC gaming. That's not something you see every day. 6 TCs is this doubt? We all know 7 TCs is the magic number. That's what I learned back in the day. Now some camels from ACCM. Camels will benefit, okay, from that upgrade, from that double blacksmith upgrade. What's this camel? He does have heavy camel as an option. Okay. I'll have heavy camel. Castle here, taking out some of the camels. Oh, nice defensive castle. Forward castle in the middle of the map from Andy. Forward castle from ACCM too. Andy rushing this up with more vills. ACCM maybe with a head start. But the camel's now going to grab the vills on this castle. Can Andy actually get the castle up with all those camels there? He's sending more villagers. He knows it takes a village to raise a castle, and he's sending the entire village. This castle losing some HP. Skirm's trying to pick the castle vills. Andy will get his castle up, and is this now petard time? Can he actually hit the castle vills? He can. Can he deny the castle from ACCM? One more vill. ACCM 98.59%. This is a doubt castle. And Andy now, what's he going to do? Can he stop more vills? ACCM sending more vills. Andy's not going to wall that in time. But he could maybe kill some more vills. There, it goes up. He gets another vill kill. Okay, and where are the petards? Where's the workshop? Oh, Andy farming in the middle of nowhere. Why not? 7 TCs was the magic back when TCs could hit units. Oh, there are the petards from Andy. Will the petards get a hill bonus from Andy? Is this level ground here? Is this castle on the same hill as the petards will be? If they go in a straight line, will they get this hill as a bonus? I can't tell. 2D graphics. So imp on the way for ACCM, but it'll be a ram push now. I don't even know what the Khitan's unique unit is. We don't see it that often. The Liao Dao. They have a powerful attack that wounds enemies dealing damage over time. Okay, I don't know what that is. Infantry and skirmishers reflect 25% melee damage back to the attacker. That sounds like a lot. You have to kill skirmishers with ranged units then? Okay, here come petards. Kill them with petards. Down goes the castle. Did ACCM get that tech? He did not. So Andy still can fight the skirms. ACCM will lose the monastery in the middle. Ram push continues for Andy as ACCM is on his way up. Andy's still really far behind in res collected, but keeping the vill count okay. ACCM looking to wall. Whatever happens there, the Manaspas escaped. Andy, 1, 2, 3, 4 TCs. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 churches. His eco is covered by the churches. Maybe we could use one out here. I don't know exactly how far that one extends, but his eco is covered by churches. Yeah, Battle of the Broken Civs matchup. I mean, if it goes super late game, I gotta think the Georgians maybe have the better eco. And that Khitans definitely do fall off. They fall off specifically in this matchup, though, when they have good camels, and usually camels are a great unit to have against the Georgians. Unit deal guaranteed extra 9 unblockable damage to their attacks. Okay.
Yes.
9 sounds like a lot, but it's over time. So what happens if you garrison while that damage is occurring? Does it still occur while you're garrisoned? But then if you get to 0 HP while you're garrisoned, you can stay garrisoned and heal. So sorry, Go. Yes, we had a pause, but we're Rex, so we don't see the pause. We're casting Rex, so we don't see the pause. Yeah, ACCM was blessed by doubt with that castle earlier. Yes, plate parting armor, heavy camel, and siege engineers all coming in for ACCM. Castle going up for ACCM. Claim one of those extra golds. As long as Andy can gather wood safely from raids and keep his farms protected, he might get one bulk of Manaspas and just win. Manaspas are kind of weak to camels, though. I don't think you want to fight a lot of camels with Manaspas. I see their HP going down there. I think he will need Halbs. He will be Imp. Single cart on that gold. ACCM will have both extra golds. So Andy's actually kind of on a timer to push because ACCM will castle both of the extra golds. Yeah, Andy's walled and is safe from raids. He needs access to his stone. And he can't let ACCM take those golds freely, as ACCM already is taking one of the extra stones that let him get all those castles up. Treb push in the middle, but Georgians on a hill should be able to repair for a long time. DOT, very fast, okay. They have their own camels through the power of religion. That could help. Need a lot of monks for that, though. And the Khitans do have access to heresy, devotion, and faith. And we'll have elite. I don't even know what the unit looks like. Does he have any of them? They are in the castle? Oh, they're in the castle. I can't see the normal one. ACCM, make the normal one before upgrading them so we can see the graphics difference. Anyway, Treb fight, but hill advantage there for Andy. And the camel's pushing, and I think it's tricky to fight against camels when you have only Manaspas. You probably need to see maybe some halb? Oh, there it is. There he goes. Look at that sword he has. That sword is huge. This castle desperately being repaired by Andy as the Georgians. Remember, their repair is... what is that? Building costs minus 25%. And units and buildings receive minus 15% damage when located on higher elevation. So Georgian castle being repaired on a hill. I should be able to hold it. Oh, you have 4 trebuchets though. Might need a few more villas to repair. Only 15, 16, 17 repairs there. Not enough against 4 trebs, I'd think, even with all the bonuses. Our camel's dying to the castle and tower fire there. That is a guard tower. Does he have spawn towers yet? No, he does not. that would have been cool, spawn towers. So lots of repairs from ACCM on that castle, but the unique unit swordsman will take out the trebs. Is this unit good? The castle will crumble here for Andy, and now the swordsman can engage. Engage on top of the rubble. And start chopping down the villagers. Not enough power of friendship. Swordsman will destroy the tower. I'll have squires, pikemen, and spawn towers on the way. Spawn towers may be a bit late to save the castle, though. And that now is a group of 5 trebuchets that'll run into vills. Andy, out of desperation, will fight the trebs with villagers. Let's try to keep them away. How long do bodies in ruins stay on the ground? Usually about 5 minutes. In game time. I forget the exact stats though. They have a decay animation, and then the final frame stays on the ground. And then there are some stats in the unit stats that determine how long it stays there. It's unit data stats though. It's not something that can be modified through just visual mods. And some of it is data, so it's a tricky thing to mod. So frontline trebs, one thing that trebs do have is 150 pierce armor, so they won't care about being directly under the fortified churches. The arrow fire they'll be absorbing, well, just gets absorbed for the most part. These guys, how do they do against buildings? +3 against buildings. And these churches are garrisoned, so the churches are getting some DPS in here. It feels like this push from ACCM might be the final one. He's raiding with hussars now. He's 155 vills to 119. And this castle will go down as Andy can't afford to keep repairing it. Only 5 on stone. Yep, he's on his front stone. And he doesn't have a melee unit that can fight the swordsman and then go for the trebs. He's relying on pikemen. They don't even have the armor yet. And he would have the halb upgrade. Yeah, just cannot afford that. 0 on gold now. And I'm just worried as this army pushes in. There's the GG. As ACCM also has both of the extra golds as well. So there's the GG. Khitans still OP. Yeah, significantly more food, even with the fortified churches on the on the farms. More kills from ACCM at the end. A much better eco, more food collected. GG. Oh yeah, they also had Treb. the traction shrubs. Ooh, so that is the second set. That is the second set. ACCM does win Arabia. Let's look at the standings now. That's Khitans over Georgians. How would Mongols do in that matchup? I don't quite know how different that would have been. But what if we just get rid of pastures and just have farms? And I think that concludes round 1. So we don't see the standings updated yet, but that will conclude, or not round 1, but Group A. That'll conclude Group A, where ACCM should win the group now, and that should mean Hera's second, having beaten Lucho. So ACCM won against Hera. He won all 3 of his sets against Hera, Lucho, and Andy. That'll mean ACCM is first. Hera lost to ACCM, but then he beat Andy and Lucho, so he won 2 sets and he's second. Lucho beat Andy, and then Andy didn't beat anyone, so that's 1 and 0 set wins. So very simple, ACCM, Hera, Lucho, Andy. And that means ACCM will be the top seed over here in the quarterfinals, and Hera will randomly face, I think it's a random draw for one of the other 4 slots. We read that in the handbook the other day. So this group is done. This completely finished Group A then. And then congrats to Hera and extra congrats to ACCM for winning it. And there's one more set today. What is the set for today? It's supposed to be Hart versus Kapach. And I don't know if I'm up for casting that. I'm pretty exhausted right now. Are there other people casting in English? Looks like T90 is. I might just, I think I'm gonna end here and I'm gonna give a rage T90 and I'll be back tomorrow. Putting pastures out to pasture does have a certain ring to it. Yeah, so there's one more set today, but I don't think I'm feeling up for covering it. So I'll raid T90, and he will cast that on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, I think Mem's casting it on YouTube if you want to watch it on YouTube. I don't know if I can raid on YouTube. It'd be cool if they just served a totally different purpose, like you park your herdables there and they multiply slowly over time. Yeah, they kind of reskinned stuff. Triathlon athlete? I don't do triathlons. I only do running. So I'll end the stream on YouTube. I'll be back tomorrow. And I need to go handle all my cartographers' payments tonight. So I have some more AoE2 stuff to do beyond streaming. Did I miss something good? You missed Khitan's Georgians if you want to see how the new pastures work out. And thank you, Jasper, for the follow. So I'll say goodbye to YouTube. I'll stop the stream there. And like I said, only if person has them enabled. I need to figure out how to do it. I'll try to learn for the future. So goodbye to YouTube. I'll see you all later. And we'll go